Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. We're already open for business, as you guys can see. And I am excited as can be. You guys don't know how much I absolutely positively love doing this and being here with you guys. Friday nights. My wife, of course, she is not crazy about Friday nights because it's kind of like, that should be date night. Man, I'm doing great, Nicholas. Here we sit 145 days, 23 hours, 13 minutes, and 18 seconds away from kickoff of the 2018 season. And we got a couple of things to get to. We're going to have Foots chiming in tonight, and we're going to give you my theory on why I think the Dallas Cowboys can get a top 3 safety. But before we do that, let's go back and let's talk about Dak Prescott's contract.
If this is Jerry Jones signaling that this offseason he's giving Dak Prescott an extension, it will be one of the most grievous errors Jerry Jones has made since he let go of Jimmy Johnson. Now, I talked with Ed Werder last night, on the radio, who covers the Cowboys as closely as anyone.
Great guy.
He believes this is just Jerry trying to pick Dak up when he's at a low point. That Dak's being attacked, that Dak right now is in a crisis of confidence.
Which is probably all true.
That he doesn't want there to be more noise surrounding Dak. Jerry is not planning on extending him before his rookie contract's over. If Jerry wants to give Dak the next 24 games, I'm all for that. The next 24 games are going to cost you about $1.1 million total. It's a bargain, no problem. But if the plan is to sign, if Jerry's saying through 40 games we've seen enough to say we want to give Dak a second contract, which is going to pay him a minimum of $20 million a year, to me that would be insanity. See, how many teams are there in the NFL?
32.
There have been 33 quarterbacks to throw for at least 275 yards this year in a game. 33.
Really?
Dak's not one of them. 118 times a quarterback has thrown for 275 yards.
Wow.
Dak's got 0 of them.
At the midway point?
At the midway point. So to say I've seen enough, he's getting an extension, if that is a real commitment to this offseason, Dak can come to your office, or his agent can, and get an extension, that would be, I think, an organizational error that could be hard to come back from.
This one right here is hard for me. And it's hard for me from a couple different perspectives. And one is just looking myself in the mirror and trying to be truthful with my own reality. Like, I came into this league and didn't have a lot of success.
Your own
early,
reality?
Not like Dak. And we don't see guys come into the league who start off like Dak and don't ascend to something, typically, especially from quarterback. Now, for me, we know of my initial struggles there in Philadelphia. It took me until Dennis Green was hired in Minnesota, and he called me one offseason and said, you know something? I believe you're playing a little out of position. We're going to gear our passing attack around you. I'm going to move you in the slot some, where you're not going to play outside the numbers. You're going to play all the wide receiver spots. And that's when my game, and other things too, led to it. But that's when my game took off. So I have a great deal of patience for players in their development. My problem is
You guys
I got
had enough
such
of this.
bad information to start, because we don't see guys who start this way and end up dipping down. Typically, they have a rough rookie season, then they start to ascend. But in this league, Jenna, it's just about life. All you need is one person to believe in you. And Dak has that in Jerry Jones. Now, I'm not saying Jerry's doing the right thing. I believe there's a right price. I'm not paying more than $25 million for Dak, and my guarantees have to be down to a minimum. I would like to
Yeah, I think Charles Haley said it about right, man. Sit your ass down. All right, so obviously that was a few months ago. Basically the first half of the season before Dak Prescott really started playing well. And we ended up seeing where he ended up going and how much better he played. And it's funny because I like to go back into Junebug, thank you very much for the super chat. We like to go back, or at least I like to go back on things like that, so that way we can kind of see what happened before. Because see, here's the thing about football. Football is crazy because it is so unpredictable, and they were 100% right, because at the midway point of the season, it just was not looking good at all. I mean, Dak Prescott, the offense, we had all these new players, and it was really the first game that Amari Cooper had shown up, and so it just didn't seem to work well. At that point, Dak Prescott, look, Joe Boo even agreed. At that point, Dak Prescott hadn't had the Philadelphia game, the second one. Dak Prescott didn't have the Giant game, where he threw for another 300 and some odd yards and 3 touchdowns and stuff, or 4 touchdowns. And we didn't have Amari Cooper step up. And if you take that first half of the season, it looked bad. Second half of the season, he completely turned it around. And if you take his numbers of the last 8 games, he was one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. And when you're looking around at teams that are, people are scrambling on whether or not they should trade for Josh Rosen and what it's going to cost them to get him. Other teams are looking at maybe trading up and getting quarterbacks and things. There are not very many quarterbacks that are out there. And it still amazes me because there's still some people. Oh, there's Voch. Voch, man, we got to get together, man. Voch, I sent you a message because I was trying to, send you, get you going and everything else and get a little conversation going, but you didn't take the bait, and you didn't run with it, man. What's wrong with you, man? I thought you for sure you were going to pull an Okoye media on me or something, because, I still like that trash can full of dirt with a few wheels underneath it. Because, those trash cans, I don't know if you do construction work. We get those trash cans where we get a whole lot of heavy stuff in them, but we got wheels. So you push that thing, and that gets some momentum. Those wheels, man, Vosh, they can do some damage. I'm telling, especially if it's on a hill. If it's going downhill, you better watch out. Okay? And D3 Oos 09, we're going to talk with Foots on that whole safety thing. Floyd Paris, thank you very much for the super chat. Here's my thing. I was doing some research because, I woke up in the morning, like I always do. I kiss my wife. Rub her behind a little bit and say good morning. And then I get up and I start thinking about the I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, this is PG rated, but I started thinking about where are the Dallas Cowboys going to be able to find an impact player? And starting to think of how the drafts kind of fall. Usually, quarterbacks, if there's any decent quarterbacks, they're gone. And even a lot of times, not even decent quarterbacks, they're gone. So there's going to be, before the Cowboys pick, at least 5 or 6 quarterbacks picked. Edge rushers are a premium. Those guys are going to go off the board real quick. Okay? Of course, if you got an edge rusher, you got something. Good shutdown cornerbacks, they're going to go. So all of a sudden, all those guys are going. So I started thinking, how many safeties normally go before 58? And so I started looking and thinking back, and I've got actually a graph because I don't know how to do. I'm technology challenged. It's amazing that this show I actually have 3 computers going right now to do this show: a mixing board, a cell phone that controls the camera. I don't know how I can do that. I've learned how to do this, but I'm getting better at it. Okay, so when Foots calls in, he's on this computer. I got this computer that's taking care of this screen over here. And then, of course, I got this switching board here, so that way, when I want to go ahead and go to a different camera, I can push another button and stuff. Right, Bosh, you have no idea. But here's the thing. Last year, before 58, in the first 2 rounds, and I'm looking at my chart because I actually had to do it the old school way, there were 4 safeties picked up. The year before, 7 safeties before 58. But here's where it gets interesting. The year before that, there was only 2. The year before that, there was 3. And the year before that, there were 0. So we went through a peak. Since 2010, 7 has been the most that have been taken. Now here's where it gets interesting again. After in 2014, I'm looking over here at my graph. 2013, there were 5 taken. But the year before that, only 1. And the year before that, 0. And then the year before that, it went back up to 5. So what's happened is you've got a graph where they're shooting up, and then it goes rock bottom. And then it shoots back up, and it goes rock bottom. So in the course of the last 2 years, we've had 11 safeties taken before 58. And if you follow that graph, then that should say there's probably going to be 2, maybe 3 at the most, but it might even be 0 safeties taken. Brian SoCal, thank you very much for the super chat. So with that being said, what are the top 3 safeties that are going to be out there? Because we have a good chance, I believe, to get to them, and that's where I'm going to get Foots for him to go ahead and break those down. Because, see, I'm not trying to step in the territory of like Voch Lombardi or Foots and all that. They got that stuff down pat. So I'm going to leave that to those experts. I'm going to do what I do, which is I'm not sure what it is I do. Joey Baker, thank you very much for the super chat. So we'll have him calling in. Now, I got to tell you, I'm going to be a little bit pissed if something happens to Tyrone Crawford. If Tyrone Crawford gets any kind of suspension whatsoever, anything, we should all, I don't know, maybe we need to go to New York and burn down the Manhattan office. Because here it is, Reuben Foster, who's been arrested and having gun charges, marijuana, domestic violence abuse, where he drug his girlfriend who was pregnant and stuff. She ended up recanting later on and saying, oh, it didn't happen and all that because they're still together. Still had issues the night before a game in Miami. All kinds of question marks out there. He got reinstated to the Washington Redskins with only a 2-game fine, 2-game salary fine, 2 paychecks. So he can still play. He's just getting fined those 2 paychecks. Thermy, thank you very much for the super chat. Does anybody else out there have a problem with that? Anybody else think that, wait, hold on. That this guy has had all kinds of problems. I mean, he's had the trifecta. He's had domestic violence, he's had weapons, he's had drugs. Didn't get suspended. Thomas Garrett, thank you very much for the super chat. Destination Miami, I love that. All right, hopefully we're going to be getting my man Foots in here in a minute. But one thing I want you guys to keep in mind.
But winners worry about winning, and losers worry about winners. So we're focused on ourselves in this locker room about what we need to do to get better each and every phase of this game and be ready for this week. We're not worried about he say, she say.
And while I got Voch in here, Voch, what do you think? Okay, I know you want offensive linemen. We know you want an offensive lineman. I got that. We understand. If it's not an offensive lineman, if there's not a great offensive lineman who falls to 58, where would you like to go in this draft? I'm still, it's just my philosophy. I agree with your philosophy about wanting to have a great offensive line to protect our quarterback. I agree with that 100%. I believe that our offensive line will be better than where it was last year from experience, 2, from getting Travis Frederick back, 3, hopefully Zach Martin is basically on both legs. But I also believe that a defensive line, that a defense that gets the ball is the best thing for your offense, especially as we get late into the season and we start thinking about playoffs, being able to shut down those running games, be able to get a couple extra turnovers. Because to me, 2 things killed our season last year. If there's 2 things that we could have done just a little bit better, red zone offense, and takeaways. If we could have gotten half a takeaway more a game, I think we're in the Super Bowl. If we could have, when we got down to that red zone more times, because we were one of the worst teams in the red zone, especially the first half of the season, if we could get touchdowns instead of field goals, Victor, you're going to be a dad. I didn't know you were married. Wait a minute, wait. Whoa. Michael, did you know anything about Victor's going to be a dad? Victor, he's one of your moderators. I'm just like speechless here.
I mean, that's his business, not mine.
Victor, you've been chasing tail all over the place, and you telling me you're ready to be a daddy? Oh, I guess because you've been chasing tail all over the place. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. Wow. Congratulations to Victor. You realize that that's a lifelong commitment. My daughter called me right as I was about to go on live, and she said, Dad, I'm going out on a date. I'm like, oh, Lordy. I know you're 25 years old, but oh, Lordy. I got Michael Anthony Fitness and stuff. I mean, wow. That just blew my mind. Congratulations. I tell you what, Victor. We're going to pour one for you as we wait for Foots. There we go, Victor. That one's for you, buddy. And you're going to name your child Joe Boo? I don't know about naming your kid Joe Boo. I'm not sure. He might get his butt beat a lot. What's up? How you doing, Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980? Get you on? I'll tell you what. I'm sitting here waiting for Foots. And, of course, Foots is late. Let me see if I can... there we go. There we go. Oh, no, we got Voch. Damn. Voch, how you doing, man? Oh, and we got... Okay.
What's wrong with your voice, man? Why you sound chipmunkish? What's going on with your voice?
Hold on. Let me see if... How do I add two people?
What you calling?
Hold on. Hold on.
Yo.
I got you. I had
Okay, that's better.
Okay.
That's better. What's happening, man?
Not too much. Hold on. I was trying to see where the hell is Bradley. Okay, so
shouts out to Victor though, man. Salute to you, famo. That's a beautiful thing that you know what I'm saying you about to embrace right now, Mike, good sir. Salute to you, Vic.
All right, Mike. I need your help here for 1 second because I got to add Bradley to the conversation.
Who's Bradley?
Foots.
I didn't know that was his name.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna beat you long, man, because I wasn't invited to this thing.
No. I've been sending messages to you.
So Foots has a regular name.
Okay, so wait a minute. This is one I need to add to it.
Chat box. This is what Mark Holmes did. Mark Holmes sent me a text saying,
Hold on.
man, I'm about to shake things up. So I'm 26. So if I get a text like that, I'm expecting a follow-up text. Okay, Mark, how are you going to shake things up? He never sent the follow-up text.
You never responded. You got the first one.
There it is, calling me.
Okay, all right.
Mark, you not about to bait me into saying, oh, shit, what you about to do to shake it up, Mark? Nah, just tell me. Yeah, you my plan.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, Bradley, try and get back in. But Bosch called in and messed me all up here.
What's good, chat box? VOCHLOMBARDI, John Wick III, Lombardicus Prime, Voch Lombardi, crashing the party. What's good, y'all? Salute.
Okay, let me try and call him back again here, see if I got this straight.
Salute to Junior Bug. Salute to Tamira. Salute to Victor. Salute to Boomer Soomer. Hazel Brooks. Zach.
There he is. Okay, Foots, can you hear us?
What's good?
Foots.
Hey, what's up, family?
Okay,
what's good?
Right, we got Foots in here. Okay, now, you see we got a party crasher here in Voch Lombardi.
I can't never get you this early, Foots. What's going on, man? It's 9:20, man. What's the deal?
I told you, look, Voch, I told you yesterday, let's get on.
I normally can't get you till midnight, man. What's good?
Man, shoot. What's going on, soldier? How you feel, baby?
Man, crashing the party, man. Mark Holmes trying to talk to me from the chat
Oh
box.
no. Okay, listen. Okay, let me clarify, my man. Okay, listen.
Clarify, Mark.
You know you're like my other. You all of you guys are like my kids. You realize that, right?
Not true.
Okay. I'm old enough to be all of your fathers. I mean, E2 Blue, DMV, Dallas Cowboys, Foots, you, Law. You know, I just feel like Papa Smurf. Okay.
I look nothing like you.
What's that got to do with nothing? You still like, look, son, I brought you in this world. I'll take your ass out.
False.
Oh, I forgot you got all those guns and stuff. But no, seriously though. Honestly, I feel like you're my stepchild, okay? Y'all are that close to me, okay? All right? Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Why can't you just say thank you? I appreciate that. I mean, come on, man. You're like family. I brought you in my house. I fed you Joe Boo wings, okay?
Yeah, salute, but
damn. You can never have enough debt. Okay, all right. Okay, but here's the thing.
That's how you talk to him.
I just actually want to get a conversation because you got a different philosophy than I do. You know, you were an offensive lineman, okay? You believe in the offensive line. Me, I was a defensive lineman. I believe in that pass rush. And quite frankly, if we could get both of us have our way, we'd have one hell of a team. So the question is, and this is where my thinking was, that I think that at least the second or third best safety could still be on the board. And do you guys believe that safety is where the Cowboys will go?
Hey, I came prepared to talk safety today.
And that's what I was looking at.
I want to get my list. Voch, if you going to crash the party, let's go. You know who been. Me, listen, Voch know who my pet cat is, so I ain't going to hide. And I ain't letting. And what I'm not about to do is let some stopwatch or some 4-7.
You goddamn right, Foots. You right.
You know me, Voch. I die on my hill, so that's just how I go. So whenever Mark tag me in when we talking about safety, I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, this is where we actually did a little prep, but see, I want to get your thoughts on it too. Okay, Bradley gave me a list of his safety picks.
His name is Foots.
Huh?
Hey, that's my dad. That's my stepdad, so he gets to call me Bradley.
Come on, man.
Okay, can I answer your first?
Okay, you go ahead and answer that question, and then we're gonna go to safeties.
A few things, man. Let me just say preliminarily, right? I'm not pro offensive line just because I'm a former offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. When Dallas Cowboys have a great offensive line, then I will concede and say we don't need offensive line, Mark Holmes. This is my thing. We gave up 58 sacks last year. A couple things come into play with my thinking here. We gave up 58 sacks last year, and we're about to pay Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. If he's going to be your quarterback, make him as comfortable as possible to let him succeed. I saw that defense be successful for 16 games, Mark Holmes. They were only bad in 2, the Colts and the Rams. They probably could have had a little more help with some rotation there. You're not going to tell me that you want to break down that whole house based on 2 bad games when this offensive line was bad for 16 to 17 games.
Okay, now I would agree with you.
One thing. Okay. And this is most important. And Foots can kind of pat me on the back to where you probably can't because you haven't done the research. If you look at the D linemen in this class, you haven't. You say it all the time.
No, I have.
If you look at the D linemen in this class, Mark, it's plenty of. You can find a gangster in the 3rd and the 4th. When them offensive line are gone, they are gone. In my humble opinion, Mark, you want a 1-tech. If I can get you Elgin Jenkins, guard center from Mississippi State, then I can get you Darnell Savage, safety from Maryland at 90. Then I can get you Kalen Saunders. You want a big 1-tech that can move. Kalen Saunders from Western Illinois is a 1-tech that can move. If I can get you that guy in the 4th round, you feel good about that, Mark. You feel fantastic.
Okay, all right.
What I don't want to do is I don't want to reach for a player after we've done so fantastically in free agency. I don't want to reach for a player just because people don't like Jeff Heath and it messes us up for the rest of the draft. That's all I'm saying.
All right. And I would agree with you on the offensive line if we were bringing in basically the same people that were failing to be starters as we did last year. But see, I look at it from this standpoint. Travis Frederick is a Pro Bowl player coming back. That's an upgrade. Okay, that's an upgrade. Okay, all right. Hold on. Zach Martin getting his knee taken care of because he played with a hurt knee all year. That's
Hold
an
on, Bob.
upgrade.
Travis Frederick makes a difference. You know that.
Okay.
He
Come on, Bob.
100% makes a difference, but we don't know how healthy he's going to come back.
All
Just
right.
as
No,
fast,
that's fair. That's fair.
just
You
as
Okay.
fast
you
as
fair there.
That's true.
just as fast as he came down with the sickness.
It's
we don't
scary.
know
It's scary.
symptoms.
It's scary. It's scary. It's
Okay.
scary. Bob.
I just want to come.
Okay. All right, but
Go ahead.
okay, I hear you. I hear you. Let me. Everybody wants to jump. You know, everybody wants to jump in here and all that. But
That's what I do.
I still believe that with the experience you got from Joe Looney, okay, he can be a swing guard. So, no, just listen to me.
I'm listening.
Just
I'm
listen.
listening.
That Connor Williams with 10 more pounds and hopefully get another 5 or so before that, a little more experience, okay? I know you don't like Lyle Collins. I know that you want to get rid of him, and that may be the case with that. You know, basically we can save $9 million if we end up cutting him, which may be one of those cap casualties if you end up going your route. But I still believe that your offensive line will be better than where it was, adding Jason Witten in there as well. So here's my again, your philosophy is your philosophy. I believe the offensive line will at least hold serve and be better than where they were. But for me, the two places that we failed in the season, where we needed to do better, was the red zone and takeaways.
No, I
Okay, Bradley. I mean Foots. Let me ask you a question, Bradley. I mean, Foots. You want to know the best way to score in the red zone? Fix your offensive line. Let me ask you this: 1980. Welcome to the show. Let me ask you a question too. Why does it seem like offensive line is the only position we're content with? Okay. You know what I'm saying?
But we put all of our eggs in offensive line basket, man.
Joe Looney got exposed, Mark. Lael Collins was trash. Travis Frederick, we don't know if he's going to be healthy. Tyron Smith misses at least 4 games a year.
But you know what, though, Bob? I think the issue is that the Connor Williams pick not being a home run is kind of the pick that I'm not saying I'm agreeing with Mark 100%, but it's one of those things that's like, me personally, I can't draft an offensive lineman, another resource on the O-line at 58, especially if my player is there. If he's there, especially with this stuff, there's no way I'm drafting another lineman. Because, again, I like Fleming. I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to move Lyle Collins. I'm trying to see if we can get a pick or two for because my thing is, I like Fleming. I like what X Suafilo gave you. What you need, you're banking on Travis Frederick coming back and giving you something. And if that can hit, you still got probably a top 2, right guard and Zach. So to me, I think that Lyle's out of position. I've said that. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I'd rather put Connor on the outside. He's just a finesse player.
Sure.
And me and you have had that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But Vod,
you have so much.
Let me ask you this.
Foots, I respect you so much. Foots, I respect your acumen so much. But Cameron Fleming is trash and he's soft.
Fleming
trash. He does not move his feet. We see. Look, I can't stand that offensive line is the only position that we're content with. We're looking. I see people looking at wide receiver. Who the hell gonna come in and play right now?
No, I don't want a receiver. I don't want to.
No.
All the time, Foots. So why can't we be content with Jeff Heath? Jeff ain't terrible.
Because
Voch, hold on. Wait a minute. Voch, hold on. And now you watch film.
Sure.
You mean to tell me Jeff Heath took that boo-boo fake from freaking Jared Goff and he's in La La Land and throw Jared Goff? That killed me. Now, I will say this. In the run game, Jeff Heath is amazing. And that's why I will say, you know what? He is a safety that will come downhill. For the most part, he doesn't take the bait. But you know what? We lost on Earl Thomas. We lost out. This team needs to upgrade its safety. Sure. We know that we have something good in Xavier Woods, right? Louisiana Tech has come in. His first year, he's playing slot corner. Like, he's doing it all. So if you can get some more speed on the back end and just a little bit more awareness. I love Jeff Heath, but I'd rather have him in that Kayvon Frazier role to where he comes in spot duty more or less. I just don't want him as a starter. I've seen all these videos on YouTube, but me, Foots, I've never liked Jeff Heath as a starting safety.
Sure.
Like, that's just me.
Sure. I totally agree. If we can upgrade Jeff Heath, let's upgrade Jeff Heath. But Foots, let's play a game called Fact or Fiction, Foots. What's our defense a top 10 defense as it is? That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Okay, all right, hold on. Okay, stop. Okay, wait. I want to get look. 1980 is standing there looking like a lost child. Where's my mama? Okay, let me just stand there. He ain't moving. Let the man get a word.
I swear, 1980, I promise I'm gonna get you in.
Go ahead, man.
He said, no, literally, if you looked at it, I was like, is his camera frozen or what?
Let me play this game real quick. Foots, Fact or Fiction.
1980, what's up, bro?
What's up, fellas?
Did we not have a top 10 defense last year as it is?
Absolutely.
So we can add pieces there and upgrade. But Foots, how many times last year did you say, man, I wish we could have got a little more movement on that. Damn, I wish we could have got a little more protection like that. Damn, I wish Joe Looney didn't get exposed right there.
How about wait. How about when I said, damn, I wish we could get a few more turnovers? Damn, I wish we could get our offense, out there.
I'm not going to agree.
Okay.
I'm not going to agree. I can see
We
it.
were a top 10 defense last year.
That didn't get turnovers. We got 9 freaking interceptions, man. 9 interceptions. That ain't jack crap.
What's the point of having turnovers if you can't score? 1980, go ahead, bro.
Oh, my God. If you give your offense 1 or 2 more chances, I guarantee you're going to get some more scoring out of it.
We can't score. Go ahead.
Wait. We still hold on. No, Bosh. No. Hold on. 19, just give me 1 second. Hold on. If you look at the fact that what we did the second half of the season, we were scoring. We had problems in the red zone and stuff because I think hold on. A lot of that stuff was Paul Alexander and that crap where he tried to train our offensive linemen into zone read offensive line.
You cannot, with a straight face, look me in the face and say we scored better. Then in the next sentence, you said we couldn't score in the red zone. You can't do that.
I said no. You look at the first half of the season before we got Amari Cooper, who started opening up things. And here's the other thing you're not taking into consideration, too. We have more speed on the outside. We also have a security blanket. I know that Jason Witten is not a speedster. He's not going to break a whole lot of tackles. But a lot of times, I still will go to my grave and say, Dak Prescott was looking for Jason Witten or that security blanket to dump that ball off more times than not and took those sacks. That alone
Zeke was that guy.
Okay, well,
Zeke was that guy.
Zeke was that guy. But here's the thing. With the speed that you got on the outside, if Kellen Moore can even call a few more things than what we did with Scott Linehan, it's going to open things up.
We're settling.
We're not settling. You've only got so many resources to go around. We've had great We've had great offenses before, Bosh. We've had great offenses, and that had the defense to go. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys history, whenever we've had a dynasty, whenever we've had great teams, what was the other thing on the other side of the ball? We think about the triplets, but you had that great defense, that great pass rush, that doomsday defense.
I agree with you. I totally.
Wait a minute.
That's why we got a trash defense. I mean, that's why we got a great defense, but our offense can't score. That's what I'm saying, Mark. We finally got a great defense. We finally got a fantastic defense. Let's build the damn offense, get ahead on points, and make the other team play catch up. Go ahead, 1980. Damn.
You have to. Guys, thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. Everybody's just jumping in tonight. Yeah.
I didn't want to come on. Go ahead.
I love you guys, man. Check it out. The football team revolves around the offensive line. The offensive line controls the tempo of actually both sides of the ball, like they do. If you got a strong offensive line, it controls the defense. If you got an offensive line, man, it keeps them out milking the clock. You got to keep your defense fresh. The reason why we got our asses handed to us against LA Rams in the playoffs last season, because our defense was out there the whole damn time. Our offensive line wasn't allowing us to get up the field and make plays. Dak had to do it himself. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got a strong offensive line, it controls the tempo of the whole football game on both sides of the ball. A football team starts with the O-line. Like, seriously. It controls the defense, too. It has a lot to do with defense. That's why Emmett Gill was so great back then. They were able to control the game.
Okay.
Can I jump in?
Yeah. With your teddy bear.
You got to control games. Offensive line is your bouncer at the club. That's your bouncer at the club. You got a strong bouncer, you going to control all that shit. Both sides.
Oh,
Let me
don't bring up bouncers. We got
jump in.
Tyrone Crawford in some
Let me
trouble
jump in.
right now.
Let me jump in. You spot on. 1980. So watch this. I just want to see if we don't have to use draft capital. I'm kind of with Mark. I just want to see if we don't have to use draft capital and just kind of rearrange. I think that we have. Voch, can we agree that we have players playing out of position? Can we agree there?
Sure.
So I'm
On the
like,
offensive line?
my thing is, and Mark made a great point. The offensive line looked a little bit better when Amari Cooper came into the fold.
And also when we got rid of Paul Alexander too.
The offensive line looked a lot better when Michael Gallup started to become more of a player. So I just say that to say, obviously, Connor Williams is lighting the ass. It is what it is. He doesn't handle power well. So why not make him a tackle? He's a finesse player. I think he's a right tackle, Voch. I don't understand.
Tackle. I would
You
100%
got a point. You
love
got a
to
point,
make
but you have a point, but you still have to draft. You still have to draft.
No, but
Okay,
so let me ask
you know what? I don't have. Listen, I don't have. Okay.
1980. Why? My thing is this. Why I don't understand. Why are we using our? This is our. We don't have a first round pick this year.
Exactly.
So I want to know why are we using pick 58? Like I like Darnell Sapp. Maybe it should be just because I like this safety class so much, and I like the to me.
Okay.
Taylor Rapp. I'm serious. And Mark brought me on to do safeties.
Sure.
To me, Taylor Rapp, his ceiling is listen. When I say this, some of y'all might jump, some of y'all might fall out. His ceiling is Troy Polamalu. So if I'm telling you that you can get Troy Polamalu, if he reaches his potential, why would you not want that player?
Foots, I feel you, but if I can get you the 2016 offensive line, you will live with Jeff Heath. I just looked up the numbers. If we scored 10 more points, we only lose two. We don't lose 2 games last year. If we scored 10 more points, we only lose twice.
Voch, I'm trading up for Taylor Rapp.
Time out. All right. Everybody put the kiddies to bed because I've got a feeling that this is going to get to be crazy, okay? It's going to get crazy. Okay, no. Okay. Hold on. Okay. It's my show now. Hold on. It's my show. Let me get a point in here, okay? Now, listen. What happened in 2014 when we had an offense which was, one of the best years that Tony Romo had? We were lighting the ball up and scoring like crazy. What happened to us in the playoffs against Aaron Rodgers?
You're making my point, Mark.
But here's the thing that's interesting about that year. If you will remember, that was coming off of us having the historically worst defense in the NFL on 2013. But that defense kept us in games. Do you know why that defense that was 19th ranked kept us in games?
Because they were opportunists.
Because they were second in the NFL in taking the ball away, which gave the offense more opportunities to score. When you get a turnover, it can be as much as a 14-point swing. We've seen Kirk Cousins with the Washington Redskins blow games because it's given us momentum going down the stretch. When you can get the ball and you can give the ball to the offense when the defense is sitting on the sideline sucking down some Gatorade defense and they're running out on the field, that's when you go deep and you kill people. Stop
listen,
on their throats.
Mark, listen, go ahead, tell them why. Tell them why.
They were fresh.
Because DeMarcus Murray offensive line pounding
the offensive line kept the defense fresh. That's how they were able to make plays. You have to be fresh.
No. That 2014, we were a bend don't break because that defense was on the field a lot. But they got turnovers in the end that kept them in the games.
Mark, this is how good our 2018 defense is. We averaged 10 possessions and we were still top 10. That 2014 defense that you talking about, they was only on the field for 7 possessions because we ran the clock and we.
Let me jump in, Voch. Tag me in. So watch this. Does having a change of pace back help your offensive line? Does having a different play caller help your offensive line?
Does having speed on the outside help your offensive line?
Yeah, because to me, Voch, me and you. So look, and this is not a knock on anybody else, but me and Voch jumped on draft coverage very, very early. Sure. If you give me a Pollard, Memphis in the 4th round, maybe a Bryce Love, maybe somebody who could steal 3 possessions from Zeke. Maybe Zeke is now more fresh. Maybe it's not I'm gonna be honest. This offense, we're not gonna have every position group be top 10. It's just not gonna happen. So. When you're thinking about the offensive line, if I have a top 5, top 7 offensive line, now I got to get some things around him around Zeke better. So what I'm saying is, if you could think about a Pollard, maybe to add some juice. I love Ross Smith. Interviewed him at the training camp. He doesn't have enough juice for what this offense needs. He doesn't put the defense in stress. If after they've been banging with Zeke, they need to go chase a guy like Tony Pollard or Lance Dunbar if he could have stayed healthy. So to me,
I agree with you on that 100% right there.
I 10,000% agree with both of you. But Foots, let me tell you why I 100% agree with you. Sure, I would love some change of pace. However, how many times have we seen Zeke get hit at the 0, but he turned into a +3?
Twist around, yeah.
But is your goal? But hold on, are you okay with having that for 2 or 3 years and then he's done and gone?
Yeah, that's a great point there too.
Because I ain't trying to necessarily pay Zeke if I got to pick over him and Byron Jones. But let me say this, Mark.
Whoa.
Let me say this, and then we can get into that. Mark, me and you actually agree. Me and you are on the same page. What you want is both sides of the football to be great.
Yes.
You was talking about 2014 team. Offense was great, defense was bad. I totally agree. But in 2018, the defense that we have now is 10,000% better than the one we had then. So let's build the offense to match that, Mark Holmes. That's all I'm saying. Build me an offensive line that's nasty. You make it better for Zeke. You make it better for Dak to pass the game.
Offensive line. It's a domino.
And we can finally score points. You want turnovers, Mark? You want to know the best way to get turnovers? Make the other team throw the ball and let Robert Quinn and DeMarcus and Randy chase people. That's the best way to get turnovers, Mark Holmes.
Okay. I'm hearing what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Shouts out to Natchez High School, man, hometown. Go ahead, Mark.
Shameless plug. Okay, no, I'm going to let 1980 get in here because, like I said, man, my man's standing up here, and he just kind of looked like, can I get word in?
Because I just smoked.
Go ahead.
Why you want to? Because I just smoked, Mark. Go ahead. Man.
No, what? Smoke me,
man. No.
You can listen. This is America here. This is America. We are free to believe what we want to believe. I'm not disagreeing. Listen, I would love to go ahead and have perfect players across the board and everything else. But the reality is you have certain amount of resources and money to spend. We have gone the offensive route, and we've had great offenses, but guess what? We get Aaron freaking Rodgers on one leg that's running around, picking us off and killing us. I want somebody that knocks the crap out of that guy.
I'm never coming back. Will you let your guest talk, please? I'm not coming back on here. Go ahead, man. Let your guest talk.
Hey, this would be an easy draft for us guys because we got all the tools. Really, if you look at it, both sides of the ball are stacked.
I agree.
He's just got I like Heat, but he's got bad angles. I think he could be coached into a great safety.
Up your butt, Joe Boo.
No.
I think you just got to work with him a little bit. That's all. He's only had a year with him. Chris Rashard's only had a year with Heat, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So let him marinate a little bit with Heat. If we draft a safety, cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's replaceable. But the team that we got right now, I feel we're good. Obviously, we got to go through the draft. I'm not really big on drafts anymore. Ever since last year, you just never know what's going to happen. If you're big on one guy, you don't get up. I'm just going to kind of whatever we get is going to get. I believe that we're already sold up. We're already good.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
We have to be good on the offensive line. We got to get that line young. So you probably have that. We have an injury problem.
I agree.
100% again. Glad that we having him back. The Martin, 90%. We just they're
Am I the only one that is breaking up on?
On both sides.
Yeah, you breaking up. 1980. Can you? Yeah. I'm losing you a little bit, buddy.
He's saying offensive line is priority. Keep those guys young. Salaries gonna recycle.
Exactly.
Keep the offense moving. That's what he's saying. Go ahead. I'm with you.
Well,
I hear they acting like that.
Like you said, I believe in keeping the offensive line young. You got to keep them young.
Well, okay, I can agree with that because you can actually look and say Tyron Smith, is beginning to break down, and you got to start looking at the end being sooner than you want. I know we're still in this 20.
If we get back to that 2016 formula, that's the where I want. I want that 2016 formula where we pound the ball and through when we had to, but milk that clock,
and lost to Aaron Rodgers.
Back on the field,
Right.
And that's a former DB right there telling y'all that. That's a former DB telling y'all.
Okay, well, all right. Well, again, we
on
will.
the field. I'm tired. Offensive line is your bully. That's your bully, man. I'm telling you. That is your bully. That's how you control the game. If we can get back to hit Witten over the middle every now and then, get Amari Cooper deep when we need him, or Gallup deep when we need him, we're good, man. We're gonna be all right this year.
Go ahead, Mark. Say what you want to say.
All right. Well, look. Okay. Well, we've completely messed up this whole show. My man Foots has been working hard on getting the safeties.
We
and
made
everything
it better.
together.
Go ahead, Foots. Tell us your top 5 safeties.
No. But hold on. Okay. With the moves, okay. Here's where I feel. Here's what I feel personally. Okay, I feel with the moves that we have made, that nobody's position is ideal. There's always people that can be replaced or have people that are in better shape. But I feel like they have plugged the holes to the point where you look at the best player out there at almost every position, that you want to find a guy who we look at and say, he's a day one starter that's going to make a big improvement on our team. And that if it is your offensive lineman that falls to the second round and stuff like that, you grab him. If it ends up being a defensive lineman that's a really stud that you say, he's going to be a beast, you take him. Or if it's that safety. My point being was, when I look back at the history of the last 9 years in the draft, that generally speaking, we have highs and lows, and that this year is going to be a low on people taking safeties, that you may be able to get a game-changing safety, a guy that can get turnovers. And if you can get 1 or 2 more turnovers a game, that makes it that much easier for your offense as well. And I'm not saying that our offensive line doesn't have problems, because we know, I agree with you that Travis Frederick, you don't know if he's going to be 100% or if it's going to take him some time to get up to speed. Like you said, Cam Fleming, he's better than Chaz Green. He is basic. He may be soft, but he's better than Chaz Green. And if we have to go to him for a game or two, but I still believe that because of the offense, that we are not the same 5-year window of Scott Linehan calling the same damn plays where everything is predictable. If you know, and you and I both know, if we know where the point of attack is going to be, it's a hell of a lot easier than to not know if it's going to be a pass or a run, if it's going to be a deep, if it's going to be a screen and things like that. And those are things that will help out the offensive line as well.
I think the only reason people are remotely okay with Fleming and Su'a-Filo is because we won games when they played or whatnot.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
watching film, those guys did terribly. Dak was on the run. He got sacked 6 times, but we pulled out the
Dak
win.
made up for a lot of it in the same way Tony Romo made up for a lot of things
Hold on, wait a minute, Voch. Hold on, wait. So you think that he did bad against Philly? I like.
He had 2 good plays against. He had 2 good plays against Fletcher Cox because he's fat. But if you look at Philly, if you look at the Saints game, and I think it was like the Colts or something, Dak got sacked like 5, 6, 7 times all 3 of those games. It's just that
Philly's a good front. I mean, they're a good front. I mean, so
absolutely. And you know what? That's another fantastic point, Foots. Every time we walk into one of these games, we're not worried about their receivers. We're not worried about their corners or whatever. We always talk about they damn 3 techs. We walked in against Fletcher Cox, against Jaron Reed, against Sheldon Rankins, against Calais Campbell. We were always worried about they D line. Like, let's fix the shit so we don't have to worry about it. Let's be dominant again. I don't want to just settle. Nobody wants to settle for Jeff Heath. Nobody wants to settle for Allen Hurns. They want to go fix those spots immediately. But y'all say, oh, I think Cameron Fleming's okay for the spot. I don't want okay for the spot. 2016 spoiled the hell out of me. 2014 spoiled the hell out of me in terms of what I want from my offensive line.
Yeah,
If Dak's going to be our quarterback, he's not perfect, but he's a winner. If he's going to be our quarterback, if Zeke's going to be our running back, let's fix the damn line and make it work for them. Our defense already elite. You said we couldn't score in the red zone, Mark. You said we couldn't move the ball. If we'd have scored one more time against the Rams, if we'd got the ball back one more time against the Rams, you know Dak could have did something.
Yeah,
Let's get more confidence. Let's get points in the beginning of the game so Dak ain't got to be.
Hold on, but guys, wait a minute. If we talking about that Rams game, it was clearly, your defensive line and safety play, and to me, play calling as well.
But
and honestly, if we really want to break that game down, Voch, I didn't like the way number one, Rod Marinelli kept slaying the line, which was stupid. They didn't even really have to block. They were basically Whitworth was just letting our D line run ourselves out the play. And then number two, you made no adjustments to the way that McVay called the game.
They were adjusting. They were adjusting. I was watching them. They were adjusting. But when you're tired, you can't perform.
Randy
they outthought us on that. They kept our guys out there. They flipped the script. They used our offensive scheme against us. And that's why they were able to keep our defense out there and keep them tired.
But what I'm 1980, what I'm saying is, all right, so if you watch the way that the Patriots played, and this is a total different staff, but if you watch the way that the Patriots played, but I would argue that I think that we have just as good personnel as the Patriots on defense, especially on D-line. But if you watch the way that the Patriots played the Rams, they didn't go like all we did defensively was chase those dumbass play actions. You kept biting on the same play action, that same long development play action, and you know what the Patriots did? They washed it out and got to Jared Goff every time. And so what happened is, and I will have to go back and watch, but that was, if you go back and watch 1980, you'll see what I'm saying. If you watch both games, obviously 2 weeks to get ready, but you'll see what I'm saying. We honored that play action so crazy. That was more of a scheme issue. I'm not going to sit here and say that. And hold on. And also, you're playing against two of the best defensive linemen in the league, in Sue and Aaron Donald. So you're not going to be playing them every single week. Right. I thought that was more scheme.
Now let me get one point in.
Mark, time out, please. Let me say this.
Okay.
I think it's incredibly irresponsible to look at our defense and say we need y'all to be fantastic for 19 games. Defense, could you please just save us for 19?
That's not gonna happen.
No. But hold. Okay. I agree with you, and that's why it's a yin and a yang. Sometimes your offense is going to be better. Sometimes your defense. Our defense saved us in the first half of the season. But to your point, when we were talking about the first half of the season, we scored 8 points against the Panthers. We scored 20 against the Giants. We scored 13 against Seattle. We scored 26 against the Lions, which was the big part right there.
Exactly.
Wait. Let me finish my point. Okay, 16 against the Texans. Now we had the big game against the Jaguars. I don't know what Calais Campbell, because you're talking about Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell didn't do shit because we scored 40 points.
Pre-game, we were shaking in our boots over Calais Campbell.
Okay, all right, but regardless, and against the Redskins, we scored 20. Now let's go to the second half of the season. Okay,
right.
We ended up having 14 points against the Titans. Then we scored 27. Hold on, 27 in Philadelphia. Okay. 27 Philadelphia. We scored 22 on the road against the Falcons. We scored 31 then against the Redskins. Okay, 13 against the Saints, which Saints got a really good defense. 29 then against the Eagles in a shootout. nothing against the Colts. 27 against the Buccaneers, and 36 against the Giants. If you look at the numbers, you look at the numbers. Okay, right. Okay, right. I got you. But here's the thing. You look at the numbers, we scored more points that second half once we got rid of Paul Alexander and once we got Amari Cooper. Right or wrong?
Sure.
Did our offense score more points had we scored points like that in the first half, we would have been a number 1 seed.
Mark, you play football. All of us are football guys. Football math means nothing. Every game is different.
I agree with you.
You go into one game looking at one team. The next team is totally different. We're not going to be in situations. We're not going to be in situations where we just go, look, we can drop 30 on the Giants. Sure, but what's going to happen when we play against the damn Rams? And look, you were reading off the numbers. I said if we scored 10 extra points, we only lose 2 games last year, Mark. If you look at the Rams game, like we were saying, sure, I see the chat box talking about play call and scheme. It's easy to point at the coaches, but
but you know what, Josh? On the flip side of that, if we give up one less touchdown a game, we don't lose any games either. You can do it both ways. It's the same thing.
Hold on, but let me say this. Let me jump in. Stop it.
If you look at the first drive of that Rams game, we scored because we executed. Then in the middle of the game, we stopped executing. Then towards the end of the game, we started back executing again.
And guess what? And guess what happened on third down when Jared Goff ran? We couldn't stop that motherfucker, and they got the first down. And had we stopped him, we would have had another opportunity to go ahead and score and take the game. Because my quarterback, my teammate, Dak Prescott, and if you say anything about my quarterback, I'm gonna go off on you. You know he would have scored.
Mark Holmes, you know what you're doing? What? You're being emotional. You trying to fire a man off of one play, Mark Holmes. That's what you're doing. You're not looking at his complete body of work. You're trying to fire Jeff Heath.
21 missed tackles. 21 missed tackles last year.
Let me jump in.
21 missed tackles, or was it 22?
Let me jump in. Let me jump in. So look, it's funny, the Amari Cooper. Again, I've been wrong, and I'll admit when I'm wrong. But I'll never forget when I said the day that we signed him, I went out on the biggest limb and said Amari Cooper was an amazing signing.
He's fantastic.
It's still on my page. My point is this. Voch, why not? Let's see a year with Cooper. Let's see a year with now no more receiver by committee. No.
Oh yeah, right. We got some
no more. So look, watch this though. No more receiver by committee. No more. It's Gallup, it's Cooper, and it's whoever you want in the slot. Cobb, Wilson, whoever takes the position. That's it. These are your two dogs on the outside, right?
Yes.
You have Witten, you have Schultz. I'm just with Mark. I don't want to use my 58. I don't have a first round pick, Voch. I'm draft guy.
But it's not using for it, though, Foots. It's a need for it.
Who's going to be a day? Voch.
We're talking to a brick wall. He's not going to change.
Voch, not in your world. Not in Voch's world, because you know your stuff.
Sure.
But in this regime, who is a day one starter? Who you going to draft that's going to take
Elgin Jenkins from Mississippi State is a day one starter.
So you mean to tell me, what are we doing with Connor Williams now?
Connor Williams is my right tackle.
Okay, so where's Lyle Collins going?
Off a bridge because he has yet to learn.
No. Whoa. Hold on.
Collins because he's yet to learn how to use.
Hold on. Off a bridge, or can we get something for him? I don't want him off the bridge.
If I think Lael is trash, look, and Foots, I'm just a YouTuber. If I think Lael is trash, it's bound to be front offices and it's bound to be some scouts that think the same thing.
I can't get a 6 for Lyle Collins. A 4-year starter.
Okay, Foots, watch this. Do you want a 6 for Lael, or do you just want to let him go and get a 4th round compensatory pick? What you want to do?
I would definitely love it. I would love a compensatory. If that's what it would be.
Because look, nobody wants to give anything away for Lael, but if he's just free and they could just pay for him, then they'll take him. Cool, let him go and let him get their money. Lael, look, let me say this first, because I went back and watched the film of 2015 of Lael Collins playing at guard. He's the same damn player at guard than he is at tackle. Lael Collins got fantastic feet, but he misses with his hands. He let guys get inside and they bully him. He can move. Yes, he is strong if he can get his hands on you, but he's very inconsistent with his hands. I'm putting Connor at right tackle. I'm fixing the guard position because I don't want to settle. What you was about to say, Mark?
Could some of that have been Lyle Collins this past year? One, playing against the players he's playing against. Because
it's 2015, Mark.
Okay,
he's been missing.
Okay, all right. But it's the rotator cuff part of the issue. Could part of that
Since
be?
2015, he's been missing with his hands. I don't know when he got hurt, but when I watched the film that's on my channel, I watched it live. There's no editing. There's no highlights. There's no debauchery. There's no.
Let me say something real quick, big dog. I had a partial rotator cuff tear.
It sucked.
It wasn't full. It was partial though.
Sure.
And I was able to still work. I was able to still work with it. I was uncomfortable. I was in pain, but I was able to still kind of work with it.
Sure.
And the doctor, you can do two things. You can have the surgery, or you can kind of let it heal on its own.
Sure.
And I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna let it. Since I had a partial tear, I can let it heal on its own.
Right.
If it would have been a full tear, I would have to get the surgery, obviously. Mm-hmm. But that maybe has something to do with it. With his missing with his hands, you can't perform. You can't perform 100%.
I feel you.
Not 100%.
I feel you, but if his shoulder, okay, look. So if his shoulder hurt was last year, what about the 2015 film? And
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to make Lyle Collins. I think he's a better guard. I
Okay.
love
All right. What? Tariq, thanks for the super chat. Okay. I'm sorry. I just can't get a word in edgewise with you guys. Okay. All right.
Mark, see, Mark, you know what you need to learn? You need to learn that when good argument is happening on your show,
shut the fuck up.
Sit back and let us rock. Then when it's a moment, you hop in and say what you got to say. Now, go ahead,
but
Mark.
you don't understand, man. See, I like to be the center of attention in there, man. I like to go ahead and get my shit going, okay? I interrupt motherfuckers all the time. I'm sorry. See, y'all making me look. Sorry, football
we can
guys.
See you, but
forgive me, football guys. I didn't mean to. This is PG here, PG-13. Y'all making me lose my religion here, okay? I'd like to be able to talk, man. You know I like to be in front of the camera and everything. But go ahead. I'll kick back. I'm gonna steal Joe Blue's rum, and I'll just listen to y'all. Go ahead.
Let me get to my safeties and Voch. Feel free to jump in. That's what Mark brought me on for, and I feel like I have a good now. Voch, I will. What was that? What was that, Mark?
Taylor Rapp.
Yeah. So the first one is Taylor Rapp. And let me just preface all this by saying one thing I will say about Voch. He knows his O lineman. His channel is filled with O line work, and so I'll never discredit what you do. I'm just coming at it more from a draft philosophy, not saying you haven't done the homework, Voch, because that is one thing that you do very well. And knowing your personnel. And that being said, like I remember last year it was a question between like Minkah Fitzpatrick and Derwin James, and I laughed because there's no way I would have took Minkah Fitzpatrick over Derwin James. And you kind of see now, I just think that what happens is people outthink themselves, and people forget that with all these metrics, with the combine, with all of this stuff, Twitter, people get bored and they start doing stupid stuff like just forgetting that these guys are actually really good football players, and just if they play football the right way, then draft them.
You are mad at these damn pundits talking about that 4-7 Hufflet.
Yeah, and so right now Mark is showing Taylor Rapp, so that's my safety one. And I'm not new to the party. This isn't anybody else's opinion but myself. I did a mock draft last year, and he was my safety one. He did nothing to change. You see the Auburn game, Mark. You see a guy who is a missile. So don't give me this stopwatch speed in a straight line, because I've seen guys like Obi Melifonwu who could run a 4.3, and on the football field he looks slow as hell. Why? Because he's not a safety. Byron Jones was not a safety. Some people are born to play safety. You have to be a little off. You have to be a little nuts. You got to be a little crazy. When I look at Taylor Rapp, he plays like Troy Polamalu without the hair. Is he Troy Polamalu? He's not, but he is smart. He's efficient. He comes from that Chris Peterson defense. And to me, there's no way he can blitz. There's no way. You mean to tell me you get him with Chris Richard and you won't have a guy who will be a flat-out playmaker? This is what I tell Cowboys fans. Taylor Rapp is I won't go as far as to say he's better than Cam Chancellor, but he's a Cam Chancellor who can cover. So you make that decision and let me know if you want that on your defense. Number 2, I got Nasir Adderley. Now, Nasir Adderley is tricky because he doesn't really want to tackle, at least from the film that I've watched. He'll come up and hit you, but he won't make a tackle. And I want Cowboys fans and people who watch film to understand the difference. There's a difference between big hitters and actual tacklers. Taylor Rapp does both. Nasir Adderley, he'll hit you, but he won't tackle. But he can cover. He has very fluid hips. And I think that my only issue with with Nasir Adderley is the small school things, and that if I see him getting beat and I see him, losing reps and little things, looking out of place at a small school, it kind of makes me wonder how he'll do against bigger competition. He looked okay at the Senior Bowl.
I was about to say, I feel you on that. He kind of.
I you know what I had to do, Voch? I really had to go back, watch Adderley, and kind of. I'm still gonna keep him too, because this next player is too high and too low for me. But he's gonna get drafted off the traits, but he is going to miss. He's gonna miss a lot. So just be prepared for that. Like, he's had games where you're like, what the hell? You're on the other side of the field. Did you just freelance? And that's going to be Jonathan Abram.
Let me say this for us real fast about safety. So if Taylor Rapp is your guy, you have him playing both, right? Free and strong, right? Because
Yeah, I can have him. So what the Cowboys do, well, a lot of what I see them do is that 4-2-5 where their safeties are interchangeable. So, I mean, the NFL is now you need 5 defensive backs on the field. That's just what it is. So yes, and you won't lose much in the run game. So that's why I like Rapp.
Play in the box though.
Yeah. Oh, he could definitely play in the box. 1980.
Right.
I think he's more so of a box guy, but he's a box guy, but he does have some range, in my opinion. That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely, Voch. And watch this though, Voch. Yeah, he's not Roy Williams. Like he can cover. He can cover. He won't take the bait, and he's smart. He knows, like, he's a guy who can, like, so you want to talk about the long speed. No, he doesn't have Ed Reed long speed. Like, I'm not going to say that.
But he ain't doing that for you, though. He's not going to be super rangy guy for you, though.
Right, but he can overcompensate because he knows where the play is going. There's this thing called instincts to where if you have those, again, it goes back to being a football player. If you have instincts, you really don't have to be the fastest. Brian Dawkins wasn't the fastest player, but he had great instincts. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I have Rapp high. I just see a great football player. He just jumps off the screen to me. Now, this next player, Jonathan Abram, jumps off the screen, but for sometimes the right and the wrong reason. So he's a little bit of a wild player. He's got kicked out of a few games. He's kind of out of control at times. But there are games where you're just like, man, he's the best safety in the class. I would just be careful because of where he played at. It wasn't Chris Peterson. His players always come into the league, and they're always NFL ready. They're smart. You know what I mean? It's little things like that they adapt to the NFL game very, very well. So I like Jonathan Abram. I don't love him because he's not consistent. Now, let's move on to Juan Thornhill and Darnell Savage. So, and Voch, feel free to jump in. I know you know both of these players well.
Love Savage, boy.
Yeah, here's the thing, Mark. I would actually I liked what Voch said earlier about getting Savage in the 3rd round. There's only one problem. He's tiny, dog. And that safety position, I need my safety to at least be 205 to 210 pounds.
Get that boy a sandwich.
Earl Thomas is only 5'10".
Foots, get that boy a sandwich with a dumbbell and some peanut butter and creatine and let him rock, man. Little missile. We talking
Sanders
about
was my height. Bob Sanders was safety for the Colts back in the day. He was around my height, 5'3", 5'9".
Foots just froze up, but we're talking about Darnell Savage from Maryland, Juan Thornhill from Virginia. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Darnell Savage from Maryland. Sorry, guys, I'm in my zone, baby. And so again, I know Darnell Savage very well. He's from this area. I've seen him play live. Again, he is really, really good. He's just small, man. And you worry about the injuries, but he can really run sideline to sideline. He's actually a really good tackler. He's a really good tackler.
Savage is my third guy. Savage is my third guy.
Is he? Wow. Maybe we need to get your list in. We need to get your list in, Voch. And I got one more. But so with Savage, Mark, the only issue is the size. And I don't know we gotta put this into play because Chris Richard has to think about big safety.
He does.
He has to think about he has a certain threshold he likes.
Yeah.
Wow.
He likes that 6 foot. Well, that's where I wonder where George Iloka, if Chris Richard, I think we lost Foots in there. We got the
George
super chats on there.
probably.
But George
Iloka.
What you think about?
He's 6'4". 6'4". He's got that size that Chris Richard likes in there. So the question is,
George Iloka probably be in Buffalo or something. But go ahead.
You said what, Voch?
Probably be in Buffalo by the end of the year. But go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, Ioka.
Okay.
Yeah, Ioka's a stopgap. He's definitely a stopgap.
Yeah.
And then my last safety is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I heard an outrageous hot take from Matt Miller calling him Honey Badger. That was a reach. That was a incredible reach, but he's a good player. The thing you like about him is he's very fluid in coverage. He plays some corner, plays some safety. Yeah. I just think that the other guys have a lot better instincts, but we'll see. The thing that's going to be what you got to do with him is put him in the right scheme. So whatever scheme he's in, if you got him playing more of a slot look, But then he can come down. He's kind of an ankle tackler, but he will get you to the ground. He makes some big hits, but nothing like Rapp or Abram. So those are my guys: Taylor Rapp, Nasir Adderley, Jonathan Abram, Thornhill, Savage. Thornhill and Savage, their tags are touching, so they're basically like they're neck and neck, and then Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Now, for the Cowboys, who makes the most sense? And it's not because he's my favorite safety, but it's Taylor Rapp. For other teams where they want to do, like, let's say, well, obviously the Bears don't need a guy, but let's say somebody like Green Bay, who they don't really care about size, they just want to cover. Somebody like Darnell Savage will make a lot of sense. Maybe higher than Rapp because they like guys who can run and they need guys on the back end who can cover. So just you got to think about also what is the team needs, how do they want their safeties to play? Like we just talked about, Chris Richard likes his secondary big. So
amen to that.
So I know that's a lot, but thank you for letting me come on, Mark, and talk about my safeties.
Oh, no,
man.
not a problem. I'm actually going to step in here for – hold on one quick second here. I got to acknowledge all the great fans that are up in here. I see Junebug. I see Cowboys legend, of course, Stephanie. Of course, Miss Jackie. I see Sarah Green. I see Victor, who's going to be a daddy. Oh, Lord. We got Ray Bar Rebel. We got Nye. We got GQ Trailblazer. We got Malicious. There's a hell of a lot of you guys in here. Everybody that's been doing super chats, I've been dropping those in there. And here's what I'm going to do real quick here. We're going to do this drawing real quick. Thanks to Joseph Hartley. I hope Joseph is still in here. This is for the ladies now, okay? You see that? See that guy? See that? It is a piece of Dallas Cowboys jewelry. Michael's over there relaxing on the couch. I need to go ahead and get the mic cam set up so that way we can show Michael maxing and relaxing. And everybody who ended up donating to the Dak Prescott jersey, I've added you guys in, as well as everybody who did a super chat Friday when I was in California and Monday as well. So our winner chicken dinner is Stellos 300. My man. I hope you got a nice lady that likes some jewelry. Right. Okay, so back to you guys, man. And everybody, I hope you guys have been enjoying this free-for-all that we had. We originally thought we were just going to have Foots on here. We were going to be breaking down the safeties and stuff. But I got to tell you, this has been great having my kids all on here fighting for crumbs. But everybody who's been in here hanging out, Voch knows stuff, you know, my man Foots and everything else. And, of course, 1980. So make sure everybody goes through tonight after the broadcast that you go through and subscribe to each and every one of these guys and show them some love. So back to go ahead. You guys, I'm just going to chill here. I'm going to steal Joe Boo's rum. And I'm going to listen to you guys. My question for you is this, okay?
That's all he do, man. Sit up and let us talk and just get out. Go ahead, Mark.
Normally it's only me on here. Usually I'm begging people, man, anybody want to come? Nobody want to ever come on here with me and stuff like that. But I appreciate all you guys coming in here because here's the reality. 2 weeks from tonight, we are on the clock. Woo! The first round is out the door. So, what is okay, go ahead, 1980. Go ahead, your question.
How do you guys know we're drafting a safety?
Oh, no, I'm not saying.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. No,
they would love to. They would love to, but we don't.
Well,
we just getting everybody prepared at 1980.
See,
no. I didn't really mean that question to you guys. I meant, how do we know the Cowboys are going to draft a safety first?
We don't.
Well, let me hold on. Before we get to that 1980. Mark, what was going to be your question? And I wanted to know. I wanted to get some thoughts from
here was my thing. 1980. The reason why I talked to Foots about safety is, in my mind, with what the Cowboys did this offseason, Jerry Jones basically came out and said, "Look, we got to upgrade. You know, we have running back, wide receiver." Defensive line and safety. And you can look through it. I mean, Trayvon Austin, we re-signed. You could kind of say that helps the running back situation. Tight end, of course, we got Jason Witten. We signed KC, whoever it is, who's never played in a game from the Rams. Okay. You know, we ended up taking care of the defensive line, getting Robert Quinn, Covington, and Hayter. Is that it? The other defensive lineman we got? Okay. And then, of course, we got in Yeah, Hyder. That's it. You know I'm a name butcher, okay? I know it started with an H. That's all I remember. It started with the damn H, okay? I'm old and I got dementia, okay? All right.
You
You're gonna be like me in about 25 years or so, okay? You're gonna be standing on the front porch saying, "Get the hell off my lawn," okay? And we got
1980.
George.
Did he not know what's his name? Hater? And I was like, nah, it's Hyder.
Okay.
He asked me. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mark, your show, man. Go ahead. Shit.
Junebug and G. Hademan, whatever it is. Thank you for the super chat.
And Ganja.
See, I told you. Listen,
Ganja.
okay, I'm dyslexic and can't read. Okay, all right. Damn. I ain't putting my business out there.
Hell, dog.
So with the Dallas Cowboys, in my mind, going through and plugging all the holes, they're looking and saying, what's going to be the guy that's going to be an impact player? In my mind, looking at the statistics of players that generally are taken, knowing that there were 11 safeties taken in the last 2 years, knowing how safety has been devalued, my thinking is, if you go through the numbers, 2 of the years in the last 10, there have been no safeties taken in the first 2 rounds. So in my mind, you're going to be able to get one of the top 2 or 3 safeties out there. And that's why we were saying, okay, let's break down safeties first. The next time go around, I was going to say, let's break down defensive linemen and try and figure out where we can probably fall using statistics. I can't read, but I can do math.
Sure.
Sam Mitchell, thank you very much for the super chat.
Well,
Okay.
Well, I think I think you're spot on, Mark. I mean, what Dallas has done is, number one, they've now covered themselves really to go anywhere in the draft. I mean, if a corner they like falls, don't be surprised. I'm telling you.
I agree.
This is an easy draft for us.
Because, I mean, hey, Byron Jones, you don't know what's going to happen with him. All right. You don't know if you want to say, hey, we'll start getting ready to move on from Byron Jones. So, again, if somebody falls, and it happens every year, hey, you might get an end that starts to slip, and you go up. I don't think so. And this is the other thing that we got to take into consideration. Okay. Jerry Jones, somebody brought this up to me, and I was like, man, this makes a lot of sense. I think it might have been Mark. Jerry Jones is getting old.
Oh.
Like, old. To where he's like having very little imprint on this team and the personnel moves they're making.
Jerry.
So when I say that, I say that to say, can you guys hear me? I know you guys see me.
We can't see you.
Oh,
we don't know what you're doing down there.
But anyway, I'm still here. Somebody said Fuss is invisible. The point is, who's to say Jerry Jones won't pull a Jerry Jones and say, you know what? I'm going up. It's maybe my last draft. I see somebody I really like. I'm going to get him.
And there's a good,
you know what I mean?
There's a great point to that, and that's one of those things I was sitting here thinking about as well. When you think about, the 5th or 6th or 7th round guys, let's be honest, we got a lot of players in there. 6th and 7th round guys aren't going to make a roster more than likely. Are we better off than saying, let's go ahead and try and get a guy that's an impact and trade up, because your roster is pretty stacked right now? Dolores Harris, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I would rather keep my picks and trade. I would rather keep my picks than trade, because I know the Cowboys are good drafters. You know what I mean?
Very good.
Like a 4th and 5th round pick to us is different than a 4th and 5th round to Jacksonville or whatever. You know what I mean? We can. I think we can get a safety in the 4th round, somebody that we ain't never heard of, but they gonna get on the field and play well. You know what I mean? Most of our guys on defense are like 4th, 5th, and 6th round guys or whatever. So I would rather keep my picks, but I'm not opposed to trade. As long as it's the right
enough, guy. When you look at the Legion of Boom, Earl Thomas is the only number one pick on that roster. Everybody else was fourth or behind or even undrafted. So you may be looking at a situation where you have a Chris Richard who is much like Rod Martinelli. Rod Martinelli I always call as the defensive line whisperer because he doesn't necessarily have the top tier talent, but he seems to get the most out of those guys. And it may be the same thing with Chris Richard because I'll look at all of the guys in the defensive backfield. I will say that Jeff Heath was better than he was the year before. He just got to work on his angles and his tackling because he makes too many missed tackles for me.
Yeah.
But you look at Byron Jones. Byron Jones going into that season, nobody saw him as a top 10 cornerback in the NFL, but you can see getting him at corner and having Chris Richard right there. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chris Richard hopefully implementing more of his system and getting these guys to follow along and see the defense take another step. But it's for me, I just love that lights out defense. And that's why I'm looking at it and saying, I want that 350-pound gorilla, that trash can that's got some wheels that can push up the middle, because I look at the New York Giants, who didn't have the greatest offense in the world. They didn't even have the best secondary, but what they've always had was a great pass rush. And if you've got a great pass rush, it helps on all three levels. It keeps the linebackers clean because the guards can't get out to the second level. It keeps the cornerbacks and the safeties and stuff not having to hold up for that 6, 7, 8 seconds like we did against Aaron Rodgers. And that's my point in there. And maybe you're right that we're just better off saying your defense is okay. Let's make sure we got a lights out offense. I do want to protect what may end up being the $200 million contract quarterback. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I just feel like maybe we just kind of focus on that defense a little bit more. And that's just the way I feel and the way I think, you know. And we had a couple of super chats in there. I appreciate it. Let me
Well, see, Mark, that's where we disagree because I would love. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, cool. That's what I disagree because I would love to add players on defense. I really want to add some D linemen. I really want to add a safety. I just know this class, Mark, and I think it's some gangsters later in the draft. If it's just we disagree on what we want to do with 58. You know what I'm saying? 58 in particular is that's where we not, vibing at or whatever. But I would like another one tech in here. I would like another rotational piece at 3 tech or whatever. Sure, let's add Darnell Savage because I'm a fan of his. But I know when offensive line are gone, they gone, Mark. You can find good running backs and receivers in the 4th round. Ain't no good offensive line.
I didn't say wide receiver or running back, but I agree with you too. But okay. All right, so then Voch, then how do you look at where we put our picks? How are you just roughly saying where we go first? Offensive line? And then what are you looking at in the 3rd round, 4th round, and so on?
And I'll even give you some names. Like I said earlier, 58. You can give me a guy like Elgin Jenkins from Mississippi State. You can give me a guy like Ross Pierschenbacher from Alabama. Mm-hmm. Somebody that can play guard and center just in case we need him. Chris Lindstrom from Boston College might not make it, but he's one of my sons, and you never know what's going to happen there. That's 58, though. As far as 90 goes, Foot said earlier, I think Darnell Savage probably going to fall a little bit because he's smaller, but he's a fantastic cover guy, fantastic IQ guy, fantastic instinct guy, great speed. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I call him Little Missile. You know what I'm saying? His ass
will hit you.
His ass can go hit. So you can get your safety and your offensive line at 90. Voch, okay. What about D line? You want that big one tech? Let's go get Kalen.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, my heart just fluttered when you just said that big one technique.
Sure. Fine, you want your big one tech. Let's go get Kalen Saunders from Western Illinois. Let's go get Dalen.
Kalen Saunders. Now watch this. He turned up at the Senior Bowl,
and he can move. He can move. That's what I like.
He's definitely a Marinelli special. Let me ask you this, Voch.
Go ahead.
I know you about to go in.
Sure.
Voch, do you want to trade back?
I don't. 58? I don't. I just want to keep everything I got, and I just want to draft where I'm at.
Well, the reason why I say that is, if you could pick, I don't know. Let's say New England, who has a lot of draft capital, they want to come up and get, Utah tight end, or I forget which tight end. They may want to grab a tight end, right?
Dawson Knox, sure.
Dawson Knox, right?
Sure.
All right, or Mississippi tight end.
Sure.
Okay, and they could give you maybe another pick in the 4th. They got everybody, again, we're talking about players not making a team. Sure. And you could trade back and then you get your guard and maybe Savage. Would you want to do that? Just give you some scenarios.
It depends on who's on the board at 58, because I'm going to be pissed if we trade away from Elgin Jenkins, then the next team go get him. like it's already bad enough I got to wait 57 picks to get somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to just, especially at that 58 spot, I want to hang tight and just get the best guy there. Now, if you want to move around with the thirds and get an extra 4th round pick, I'm good, because I've done the research. The Cowboys have done the research. It's some great players in this 4th round. You can get you a running back in the 4th round. Go get Miles Sanders. Go get Raquel Armstead. Get you a good running back that can back up Zeke. You want a corner? Go get Isaiah Johnson or whatever. You have a lot of options right there. I don't want to move out of 58 because I don't feel like I got a lot of options at 58. You know what I'm saying? It's either this guy, or this guy.
Hold on. Wait. Sure. We got a Redskin fan that wants to call in on here. Are you kidding me? He would get his ass chewed out. Okay. I mean, Ed Oliver, email, if it's Ed Oliver, tell him to email me or get Michael Anthony and stuff. We're not gonna get him in here on that. I mean, this is Cowboys, okay? The Redskins are dumpster fire, man. Okay, go ahead.
Mark, one day you gonna learn to stop stopping your show for trolls, dog. You gonna learn. You gonna learn to stop.
Man, why you messing with me, man? Why are you messing with me?
I'm trying to help.
Listen. You have your way of doing things. I got my way of doing things. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just the way I do things. Remember, I'm the old guy here. I'm a little bit different, okay, than everybody else.
Sure, you're right.
But
if I can get you an offensive line, then I can get you Darnell Savage at 90. Then I can get you a running back you really like at that first 4.
I gotta have a back. Listen. I was trying to go back at 58. I gotta have a runner.
Who you like?
Have a running back.
Who you like?
Yeah,
Which one?
I was doing all this last year.
I love Bryce Love.
Okay, look. Let's get him in the 4th. Let's go get Bryce Love in the 4th.
He's healthy. He says he's healthy. He said he'll be fine. I want Bryce Love
Justice Hill. We can get Rock Armstead. We can get Miles Sanders. Travion Williams.
I don't think. You think Miles will last to the 4th?
Be there. He'll probably be late 3rd, and we might miss him. But possibility, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know. Okay. But I think you can fill all your needs, man. Just because we draft an offensive line don't mean that we miss somewhere else. It just depends.
No, that's true.
Now, if Taylor Rapp's on the board, then we really got to have a conversation, and you might have to make me miss on offensive line because I really like Taylor Rapp.
Thank you. Hey, as long as I can get you to say that, then this is a great conversation.
I really like Taylor Rapp.
He's special, Voch. That's my thing.
He's really good. I like him. I like Nas Adderley. But I'm not just going to go get a safety at 58 just because people don't like Jeff Heath. You know what I'm saying?
I would pass on this here for if this guard is what you think he is, and now my line is back to all-star status.
Sure.
I could pass on this here, Adderley.
I got film sessions on all these guys on my channel, by the way. Y'all can go watch and learn something. So
shameless plug.
Quick plug. Just another plug too. Just another plug real fast. Day 1, day 2, and day 3, I'm doing live draft coverage on my show. I'm doing a pre-show. I'm doing the reactions, how they fit all 32 teams. Plus, I'm doing a post-show. The phone's gonna be lit. You can call in and react to it. So 7-hour shows, 3 of them. Then I'm watching Endgame and Game of Thrones after that. So
yeah, let's do it.
Busy, bro.
EOCHLONBARDI on YouTube. Tune in.
All right. Okay. Okay. So Voch, then your perfect draft is what positions that we fill?
I just filled up guard/center. I filled up strong safety. We got running back number 2, and we got your fat 1 tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that desperately think we need 3 techs. I think Tyrone Crawford, Malik Collins, and Kerry Hyder. I think they're all good 3 techs. Plus Taco may end up playing 3 tech at some point or whatever. So I'm not in a rush to go get 3 techs. But what I do want is I want to have a rotational piece behind Antoine Woods. I'm not trying to get rid of Antoine Woods.
And Malik Collins.
Malik's a 3, but we can kind of put him at one tech sometimes. I want a true one tech there if I'm gonna have him there. Covington is cool, but I really like Antoine Woods. He's cheap. He's cheap and he's effective. So I'm not.
Play every down. Antoine Woods can't play every down though. Can he?
So he can't.
No,
so
that's true. That's true. 1980.
So the key is I'm upgrading Jerron Reed. I'm not necessarily upgrading Antoine Woods or whatever. So when Woods come off the field, I can get another gangster in there, and we don't lose production or whatever. You see what I mean?
1980. What's your perfect draft?
I'm with Bosh. I'm with offensive line guard, then safety, then backup Z. Then I'm with Bosh, man. That's the same.
So are both of you in agreement that Connor Williamson is going to tackle and Lyle Collins is getting to kick the curve to save the $9 million?
Either moving back to guard or getting whatever.
I think there's a reason why he's not at guard. I mean, if he doesn't want to play guard, then I'm making him compete with Connor Williams, in which I think Connor Williams wins that. Whether he just thinks he's bad or he's not confident in guard or whatever, cool. I'm gonna save my little $10 million, my little $9 million, get you up out of there and give me somebody that's way better than Xavier Su'a-Filo, because he's trash as well.
All right, and Stephanie, no, I'm not getting drunk, honey. It's literally takes more than 2 shots for me to get drunk with my 255 pounds. Foots, what is your perfect draft? What positions do you fill?
Well, I'll give you my first 3. For me, I would even possibly, because of what we did in the offseason, trade up to get Rap. Like if he's 4 or 5 picks away from me, I'm trading up to get my safety. But I would go safety. I like this Wren. All right. So I would try to get Wren from Arizona State, a D tackle.
Renell Wren.
Yeah, Renell Wren is a really good player, and he could be coached. He could be molded into something special.
Sure.
And just give me a scat back, man. Stay away from receiver. I just don't think that you need it. Because I don't think that he'll get on the field. So, stay away from receiver, Mark, especially in the first 3 picks, and then, towards the end of the draft, if you want to. Take a flyer on some guys, then go ahead and do it. But my first 3 positions are going to be in any order: running back, D tackle, and safety.
Okay.
Guys, can I say something real quick? Just real quick. Now, this is Chris Richard's second season with us, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, with bringing all these safeties in, we keep drafting guys and bringing guys in. Obviously, you got to draft every year. But are the Dallas Cowboys having a hard time developing guys? Before Chris Richard. Now that we got Chris Richard, we got to give him a chance to develop the guys that we already have. We got guys at safety. We got plenty of safeties. We just got to figure out how to develop them. We can't just keep bringing in guys just like with Taco Charlton. Brought him in. We keep bringing these guys in, man. Dallas Cowboys have been known not to be able to develop guys. And this is before Chris Richard. Now that we got Chris Richard on the map, I think we need to see how his system works and allow him to develop some of these guys that we already have. Like, how many safeties can you have? I mean, shit, you know what I mean?
1980. I tell you what, man, I am a big fan of Jeff Heath. Now, do I think Jeff
and
Heath?
Jason Garrett.
Now, do I think Jeff Heath can be? Sure. Can we find somebody better than Jeff? Sure. But people beat down Jeff Heath, and all he does, like, look, I think what it really is that they took the last thing they saw in the Rams game, and they really feeding on that. And that's they saw Jeff Heath miss a tackle. They saw Antoine Woods get pent up inside, and they saw C.J. Anderson be better than Todd Gurley. So now they want a running back number 2. You know what I mean? But if you look at the season as a whole, Jeff Heath didn't hurt you as a whole. We were a top 8, top 6 or so defense with Jeff Heath. Now, if I'm trying to get a safety, I want to clearly upgrade Jeff Heath. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to give me Earl Thomas, cool, then push Jeff Smooth off the bridge, we fine. George Iloka don't get rid of Jeff Heath. You know what I'm saying? Kayvon Frazier he doesn't. And just one of these random safeties in the draft, they're not getting rid of Jeff Heath because Jeff can cover. He can cover in space. He can man cover. He can
box too. He can
box too. He can tackle. He can hit. He can play
free. The only two things I'm sorry to cut you off. The only two things I have a problem with. Jeffrey.
Sure.
Is that can be coached. They can be worked on. These two things can be worked on. Is his angles and wrapping up.
100%.
Wrap up. That's it. If he can master those two things, he'll be okay. He'll be okay.
Let me get just one thing in real quick. Redskin highlight. That's the email down there. I'm sorry, I just finally got the graphic up on there. Email me because I'll definitely get you on and we'll do some talking and stuff on there. But it's CowboysMark94 Gmail. Sorry to interrupt you guys here. I just had to handle some business.
It's your show. You gonna say something?
I was hey man, I was actually taking care of some business and stuff because we listen. I tell you what, I got to tell you, I feel so good right now. You don't understand how good I feel seeing you guys up on here. This is what I talked about last year, being able to have some of the best minds in football here. I know we don't work for ESPN and all that stuff because, well, actually, they're going down the toilet. But getting you guys in here, having this roundtable discussion and being able to do this is the future, guys. I am so humbled, so happy, so honored to have you guys. I'm going to kick back and shut the hell up right now. Go right ahead.
Well, with that being said, my show's lit like this all the time. Check my channel out, man. VOCHLOMB. You know what I'm saying? Voch Lombardi. You know what I'm talking about? My bad. But yeah, man. As far as Heath goes, man, I think Heath does a lot of things well with this defense. I think he really fits like what we do, like switching safety sometimes, because sometimes Xavier comes down and Heath plays deep. Sometimes they switch, and we do a lot of cover 1, cover 3 stuff. That's another note too. Foots and 1980, because you're a DB guy. What I'm seeing from Chris Richard and the guys that he's looking at, I think he's looking more into these long, tall, can run but can't turn guys. Mm-hmm. So I think our defense might be transitioning more to some cover 3 type stuff.
He likes that style because you can see when you're that tall. See, I played cornerback in high school and college. I played a little safety too.
Sure.
He likes them tall because you can see the field. Right. Obviously, you can see the field. You can see what's going on. A lot of the tall guys, though, they're agility wise, they're not very quick. They really give up the big play. Big guys are tall. Big guys are good in the red zone and goal line because red zone defense goal line is a little bit easier to cover. Your playmaking ability comes up a little bit more when you're a big guy. That's why he likes big guys, because they can see. He thinks they can see. Now, what he has to do is, I think we have safeties. We have a secondary right now. We have it right now. We can't keep bringing guys in and going back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? You keep bringing fresh guys. These guys are young. They're coming out of college. They're kids. They're babies. They got to transition over to the NFL mind. Okay. You're going to keep going back. Keep going back to the drawing board. We got guys here. They just need to be developed. That's it. We can develop this guy.
Okay, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, my man.
I agree. What he's saying.
That's the formula.
What he's saying is that there's no need to just keep adding safeties if we're not building the guys that we have already, because we could mess around and let somebody go that could actually get it done, but needed a little bit of coach. You know, you don't want to play roulette with somebody that could work.
Great point.
You know what I mean? So just don't keep adding safeties for the hell of adding it. See if Chris Richard, because he's only 1 year in, see if he can, you know what I'm saying, bring those guys up that we have already. And I'm with that too.
I can agree with that too, because you definitely see that Xavier Woods is kind of like, hey, I'm over here, guys. Y'all don't have any faith in me and stuff like that. And in the same way, you're looking at Taco, because Taco is kind of the same way. Like, I'm not getting a chance. Y'all keep bringing in. But on the flip side of that, though, is when you create that competition. One thing I hate is and this is what I actually love about what the Cowboys have done this offseason. The fact that we're doing all of these one-year deals, it's putting it on the player to say, you know what, if I want to have a job next year, I got to perform. Whereas when you get that contract like, say, Collins did with the Redskins, it don't matter. I'm still getting paid one way or the other. You're not quite as hungry. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of days off, or I'm not going to practice that hard. I like having guys that have to fight it out to get a position and get on the field. And in fact, I love the fact that we do have a lot of competition all over the field, with the exception of, you say, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith. We got competition on that offensive line. For the Cowboys to go through and say that Connor Williams is competing for guard, maybe that was just to try and get his fired up and things. But I want competition. I want to get the biggest beast. I want that guy who has been through the fire to get the starting position.
But Suafilo is trash.
Yeah, competition definitely always brings out the best in you.
Suafilo.
I thought Ciafalo was okay. I mean, he wasn't just trash. I thought he was all right.
Man, I can make you a 25-minute video about how trash.
Oh, Lordy. Okay.
I swear I'll do it for views.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, guys,
I ain't gonna argue with that.
I'm gonna jump off here, guys. But like I said, I think that we should jump into D-line next week too, and get these fans prepared for the D-line. But I mean, to me, you can't go wrong.
I see Voch rolling his eyes like, where's the offensive line?
The good thing about this draft is, it's two good things about for the Cowboys. Mark's 100% right. They've now covered themselves so that wherever we go, we'll just have to be prepared and bring this player in. Because and that's what you do in free agency. And I love Dallas isn't going to be big spenders in free agency because they're paying their own. So that's just how it is. And I think that's the smartest way to build a team. I think that's how you get buy-in. So I love it. I really do. Now, what we do well is draft. So off the strength of that, let's go out here, let's draft, and let's put together a nice team, man. And I mean, to me, I think safety, if we go guard, bring him in and let's make it work. The offensive line isn't sexy, but it's one of those things that if you do want to protect Dak, make it happen. So at the end of the day, to me, whatever we do, that it'll be well thought out. The Dallas Cowboys have an amazing scouting program, scouting team. So I think we'll be fine, guys. But I'm going to jump off, man. Mark.
Hey, tell everybody where to find you before you go.
Hey, guys, Cowboys Nation TV. I did some coverage last week on the law stuff and the Robert Quinn. I've done some draft stuff, but here's the thing. Did a couple mocks. It's just hard to pinpoint really what Dallas wants to do at 58. Because I'm telling you, don't be mad when we draft a corner. I mean, it could be we're all over the place. So
it's going to be
when
the
you
best
have
player
58, you can't hone in. You can't dial in on one player. So, but you guys find me at Cowboys Nation TV. Mark, thanks for everything that you do. Voch, you always hold it down. In 1980, you the man, bro, with the plan. So salute to Law, salute to everybody else who couldn't make it on, Joe Rod, everybody, man, who shows love, Okoye. Everybody doing their thing, man. Michael Anthony Fitness, much love, y'all. Peace.
All right, man. I appreciate you being on here and your hard work and stuff on your breakdown and stuff. And hopefully we're going to be getting together for the draft and stuff. We know that we're going to be going up against Voch Lombardi, who will be doing 7 hours straight of draft coverage. But it's all good.
Hey, Mark, I'll be with you in Virginia, buddy.
All right, sounds like a winner. Maybe we might even be able to Skype Voch in if he can kind of step away from his channel for just a moment or so. But we'll see. Voch is like, read between the lines.
Hey, yo, before you leave real fast, I just dropped a link. It's a mid-season video about how terrible Suafilo and Cam. I just found it.
Mark, he won't let it go, Mark.
He won't let it go. Damn.
So I just dropped that in the chat box. You can go ahead and click that if you like. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay, cool.
All right, bye.
Go to sleep, man. Salute, bro.
Did I see Law Nation in the house here? What's up, Law? How you doing, man? It's been crazy up in here, man. Voch, my son here that he don't want me to claim him and all that has been going in all over on me, but it's all good. All right, so back to you guys. I'm gonna let you guys flow. 1980. You got some extra space in here. Let me get your thoughts.
Go back to watching film, man, like I was doing at first, man. I ain't finna be out here all night with you, dog.
Then get your ass stepping then. All right.
I'm not like Voch, man. Voch has all the, man, he can do it all, man. Last year I was doing what Voch was doing. Oh my God. I was with him, Will Hernandez. I wanted him first round. That's what I wanted. But he went to the Giants. I was like, oh my God. That was my last year. Last year was my last year really getting digging, doing my dirty, going into the draft picks, all this stuff.
Because you get invested. Because you get invested in these guys, man.
I'm done with it. The Dallas Cowboys are a smart team, a smart organization, like you said, like you guys both said, they draft well. I'm going to put it in their hands this year. I'm just going to go along for the ride. Last year, I got out without him. Yeah, I didn't know who he was. I did not know who they were. I guess they said, I guess they thought, I was something. I didn't say he's something. I didn't know. I had to go back. After the draft, I had to go back. Hunt research on that. I'm glad.
Got to the point where we can't even hear him anymore. But yeah. But, you know, I had heard rumors that the Cowboys were all in on him before the draft. And, in fact, the morning of, somebody, a little birdie had told me that was the guy that they were targeting. And I was like, nah, it can't be true. That's just some bullshit. But and remember, Voch, we were sitting there, you know, and I know we were shocked. You know, Rasheed, the stinking New York Giant fan, caught us both there shocked that, you know, that was the guy that they ended up drafting because of some of the other players that were on the board. But it ends up looking like it was
I want to Harold Landry so bad. Man, I want to Harold Landry so bad, man. But, you know, Van Der Esch cool, man. I'm with him.
Yeah, Van Der, yeah. Now, we know him now. We cool now. That, like I say, this year, man, I'm watching it. I'm not doing any background. I'm just gonna let it flow, man. I am not. For one, I really don't have the time this year. Last year, I had a little bit more time, but this year, I'm just whoever we get. See, the Cowboys have put themselves in a good position.
Amen.
To go into this draft comfortably. We don't have to really just want things. We got it all. We just got to be able to figure out what we're going to do with what we got. Obviously, these young guys. That's how this draft is. We should be able to just sit back, kick our feet up, and be like, okay, who we got? We don't even need a first round.
Sure.
We should get just all in here, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah. What he's saying is that the Cowboys put themselves in such a fantastic position in free agency that we ain't really dying anywhere. So going into this draft, we don't have to like stress out over like, man, we need this, we need that. Like we can line up and play today. You know what I'm saying? We can line up with right. So he's saying like you could just go into the draft and just, you know what I'm saying, just draft whatever. We shouldn't be, everything cool is cool.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'll tell you what.
Can't you hear me, man?
Look, I can't hear you neither, but I'm good at piecing, you know what I'm saying?
He's a lip reader. No, what happens is you start going, and I don't know if you're like peeking out or what, but you just start losing it. And it's just like, you know, Voch is lip reading or he's got that mental telepathy or something or other where he's just basically reading what you're saying.
You know what it is? They're doing some, AT&T is doing some like fiber optic digging in the neighborhood. I think that's what it is. They fucking up the rotation, man.
Right. See, right now you're perfect. Right now you are dead on perfect. But, you know, when you got going sometimes, it kind of just starts, it kind of like, this is all good, man. No, we in fantastic shape. So, Voch, you doing some more film breakdown. Who you breaking down tonight?
I'm breaking down Rock Armstead from Temple, the running back. He's fantastic, and I feel like people ain't really talking about him, much. Most of the pundits have Josh Jacobs as their number one guy, but in my running back ranking video, I had about 7 guys better than him. So I'm about to drop some film to prove myself, just so people know I'm not blowing hot air and talking shit or whatever. Then I'm gonna break down some of the Michigan guys, Rashawn Gary and Winovich and Devin Bush and then we'll just go from there. See what's going on. See what's
Sounds
next.
like a winner and stuff. Well,
Absolutely.
Cowboys 1980. Tell everybody where to find you. We've actually been 50 minutes in overtime here. I hope you guys have enjoyed me just about having a heart attack up in here. But Cowboys 1980. Tell everybody where to find you and what you got coming up.
All right, guys. I'm sorry about the breaking up and all that stuff, man. I don't know what the hell is going on, but hey, Mark, I thank you guys for having me on. I just kind of rated the situation. Boss, man, I love what you do, man. Keep doing what you do.
Absolutely.
I hope y'all can hear me loud and clear. I follow you, man. All you guys. Like I said, once again, thanks for having me on, man. I can't wait to the draft. I am going to be watching. But I'm not going to have my fingers crossed. I'm just going to be sitting back, kicking and relaxing.
Chilling.
Guys, y'all can find me right here on YouTube, Dallas Cowboys Fan 1980. Same thing for Twitter, same thing for Facebook. And y'all know what I always say. Make sure you stay prayed up and cowboyed up because you never know what the day is going to bring you. I'll go back at your boy. I'm out. Thanks, guys.
There you go. Salute.
And Voch Lombardi, the mouth that roars, the man that comes at you like a machine gun.
Hey, man, sorry
Final
about your
words.
show being so long.
Oh, no, it's all good.
Sorry about show being so long, man. That happens when I get passionate and long-winded, man. But, hey, man, everything that I say on this show, man, I've backed it up somewhere with film study. I don't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not these pundits on TV just blowing hot air, man. I'm not one of these guys just out here, you know what I'm saying, trying to make headlines, man. I just saw Matt Miller today. He says, 2 weeks before the draft, I got a new best player of the draft, and it's Quentin Williams. And I'm like, but the film didn't change. Like, Quentin Williams was off the Nick Bosa. And if you can go look at my video and the title in the thumbnail since October, I've been saying Quentin Williams was the best in the draft. It's not that I'm great. I just watched the film. Others don't. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I'm saying, I'm proving it on film, man. I do Cowboys film in the regular season. I triple down on draft in the offseason, man. Like I said earlier, you can watch the draft on TV, mute it, and cut me on in the background, man. I'm giving you some valuable information on 32 teams, man. I really put the work in. I would love to just sit back and watch it and be a fan, man, but I got a red suit in the closet, man. I got some web shooters ready to go, man, so I got a lot of responsibility for y'all, man. So VOCHLOMBARDI, Voch Lombardi on YouTube and Twitter, man. Thanks for having me, Mark.
Well, no, man, you know, I got nothing but love for you, man. You're my boy. And everybody out there, understand that just because we don't always see eye to eye doesn't mean that we're about to have a fight or a throwdown and everything else. And that goes for Okoye, that goes for Cowboys Legend, My Cowboys Family, Law Nation. There are a lot of great YouTubers, E2 Blue, DMV, Dallas Cowboys, Michael Anthony Fitness, 1980. And if I forgot anybody, forgive me. You know, I'm getting old and having dementia and stuff. But a lot of these guys, not a lot, all of these guys are working hard to bring you the best content and the best words on the Dallas Cowboys. You can't get this stuff from ESPN or NFL Network, not catered to wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. We them boys. We got another one joining the party here. You got a minute still, Voch? Voch? We got Law Nation who just jumped in. Did I lose you, Voch? Damn, are you there, Law? Law, can you hear me? Law, can you hear me? All right, Voch, I'll see you later. Okay, we got Law. He decided to join the party. Can you hear me, Law?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
All right, we just lost Voch, but man, how you doing, man? Oh man,
hey, man, I'm doing great.
Hold time out. Time the fuck out. The hat.
I know you see it, don't you see it?
Where's mine?
Hey, it's a demo hat, man. I got a guy that do embroidery, and he can make these things happen for us. So I just wanted Barry to see that, hey, we got some good quality embroidery going on right now. And it's going to look nice, man, for the season.
Well,
oh, yeah.
I tell you what, you know, I've been talking with Barry because I know the website's about to relaunch. I don't know if it got live today or not, but next week, or sometime between now and next Thursday, the schedule will be released, and I'm excited. I'm just hoping that the Redskins-Dallas game isn't on Thanksgiving because that's going to be a problem to go to. But I know Barry's been planning all kinds of stuff. We're going to have actually a huge tailgate here. We're trying to make the biggest tailgate ever at FedEx Field. And with Barry's help, we're going to be doing that. I mean, we had about 120 people last year. I'm hoping to have about 300 plus deep Dallas Cowboy fans. I want to basically cook about 200 pounds of chicken wings out there at FedEx Field. And I want to go ahead and bitch slap the damn Washington Redskins and get revenge for last season losing.
Oh yeah. Did you already talk about Foster kid?
No.
Yeah, Reuben Foster. He's not suspended.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I actually I did. Reuben Foster. I thought you were talking about a foster kid as opposed to Reuben Foster. Yeah. Now I'll tell you what. When I saw that, I was just like, "What the f?" If you guys don't know, Reuben Foster, who has had problems with San Francisco, okay, he has been a problem child over and over again. At one point, he was facing, 11 months possibly in jail?
Right, gun charges and everything.
Gun charge.
A whole bunch of
He's
stuff.
had the whole trifecta. He's had domestic violence. Look,
he actually got arrested.
Arrested with weed in the car and an unregistered gun. Okay, where it was illegal to have guns. Supposedly dragging his baby mama, who was pregnant at the time, and assaulting her. She recanted later on and said, oh no, it didn't happen. But then when they were in Miami, she showed up, or somebody showed up, and he had a domestic violence charge at the hotel the night before a game against the Miami Dolphins. And so he gets fined 2 game checks and no suspension. If they do something to Tyrone Crawford for a barroom, basically, everybody's talking about, he touched the police officer and stuff. I saw bouncers swinging at him. I didn't really see him doing a whole hell of a lot. If they do something to Tyrone Crawford, then you know for sure this shit's rigged.
Yes, indeed. And then on top of that, Ezekiel Elliott got into it with the Delta airline flight attendant, or one of those attendants.
I didn't hear about that one.
So let's hope that nothing happens out of that.
I'm gonna have to go check that one out. So what you got been going on? How you feeling about our Dallas Cowboys as we have kind of added to the roster and we get ready for this draft?
I think that they set up everything for best player available. I really think that they looked at everything from A to Z. They tried to fill out the short gaps that we had on the defensive front. And they brought in George Iloka fill in the short gaps that we had with safeties. They looked at several safeties across the board, like of course, we know we didn't nail the situation with Earl Thomas. We didn't land the other deal with my guy, what's his name? Eric Berry. We didn't get that guy.
He's still unsigned, so I'm thinking that he's in a lot worse shape than people think. But also, too, here's the thing that people haven't realized, too. And actually, Voch reminded me, too, thinking about Lyle Collins, and I hadn't thought about it this way. Because of the compensatory picks, you get that first wave of free agents and stuff, but then teams cool on it, not wanting to sign anybody till after May 7th, because if you sign somebody who is valued as much as the person you lost, you lose that compensatory pick. And that's where the New England Patriots have been living off of those compensatory picks. That's why they let those big free agents go. This is crazy. You realize that New England has 12 picks this year?
Yeah, it's a lot of picks.
And 3 in the top 100. You're talking about the rich getting richer. And even setting up for next year, they have 2 3s and a 6, and if they cut one of 4 players, they'll get another 6th round. So in looking at this is the thing I love about our Cowboys right now, and putting guys like Robert Quinn on that 1-year deal. If he comes out and becomes a beast and signs with somebody else, we're getting a pick that's going to make up for that 6th round. So yeah, I agree with you on that. We definitely have stocked the cupboard.
Yes, indeed. And then on top of that, by them picking ahead of us, especially in the second and the third round, because they're picking ahead of us somehow, some way. Yeah. Even though they made it to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, they're picking ahead of us because they got multiple picks. That's what I wanted to say. In the third round, their needs and their wants are similar to ours. Meaning that they actually need a tight end. They need an actual defensive guy to put the inside in on the edge. So if you look at their team, and they need actually a safety. So it's going to be a weird situation. Not saying that they're picking ahead of us on every round, but by them having multiple picks in the third, and although we do have that one compensatory pick that's in the fourth, that gives them areas to look at some players that we might have had higher on our draft board.
Yeah.
And also, it could make them a dancing partner with us, too.
All right, well, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked everybody else. What's the perfect draft for you? What positions do we fill?
Let me see. Defensive guy that can put it into the inside. You know, that big belly hang. Yes,
you mean that trash can full of dirt?
Yes, put that trash can full of dirt out there, man. Because I don't want to see the Indianapolis Colts tape again. I don't want to look at the LA Rams tape again. I don't want to look at the Houston Texans tape again.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, I've been calling for that number one technique guy for forever.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that's one of our picks. Where else you going?
Right. My second deal would be I like Blake Jarwin, but if we going with the best player available philosophy, and if there's a nice nasty tight end that we can grab, I would like to see that, and I would also like to see a safety.
Okay.
And a backup running back. See, we got a plethora of the areas where we can go. But even if we don't get those guys, guess what? we set up ourselves good to go for right now. We're good to go right now. Believe it or not. Aren't we good to go right now?
I think we're in pretty good shape. We're in better shape than I think. You know what? I tell you what. I'm old, and I've seen a lot of Dallas Cowboys teams around, and I got to tell you, I really feel like this team is really loaded. I haven't had this kind of a feeling. You know, usually we've had like a really good defense or really good offense. I feel like we are really good on both sides of the ball, and I feel like we've got at least players, if we lose frontline guys, that we have guys that can step up where it's not like going from, like I always say, Tyron Smith to Chaz Green, that we're competent everywhere, and I think the Cowboys have done a good job. Because in the end, when I look at New England, and I always hate to compare New England to us because New England, of course, has won all these Super Bowls, but they don't have a lot of superstars. They have a lot of guys that if I lose this guy, it's okay because this guy can step in and play just as well. And it's not just the 22 guys on offense and defense. It's the top 40 guys that all have a role in it. And so it's not about having the cream of the crop talent up to the top. It's about having good players across the board. And I feel like the Cowboys have done that. I'm actually amazed at all of the players that they've been able to go ahead and get on this roster with the money that they've had. To still have $19 million of cap room left. To have brought in, Robert Quinn, to brought in a, Randall Cobb. When you look at the players that we lost between David Irving and possibly Randy Gregory, but we don't know if we lost him or not. We may end up getting lucky because I think Jerry Jones knows a little something that's going on, and I honestly believe, because a lot of people always say, why do we keep that guy? I believe with this collective bargaining that we've got Jerry Jones up there talking right now about this collective bargaining agreement, I think that weed is going to be more acceptable, and I think that's going to end up getting that guy back. But we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But
yes,
I
indeed.
look at that and say they've gone through and they have literally filled it out and still have room to go ahead and make moves and tie up our quarterback, especially if they get Amari Cooper's deal. So I'm actually feeling really good about our front office right now.
Yes, indeed. And I see Miss Jackie saying good night. Good night, Miss Jackie.
Miss Jackie, thank you so much.
Yes, this is the thing that I want everybody to see if you guys can agree with me or not, okay? And see if you agree with me or not.
Okay.
Will Dak Prescott be better for 2019? Yes or no?
Oh, I think definitely.
All right. So will his chemistry with Amari Cooper be better? Yes or no?
Oh, definitely.
Do you think that Connor Williams gained 5 to 10 pounds? Will he be stronger, bigger, and better?
Yes.
So with all those pieces added together, what I'm saying, Cowboy Nation, if we can really look at to this season and say, we're not worried about Ezekiel Elliott. He's going to bring in the level of productions that we know that he's going to bring in. We already know for sure that Dak Prescott is going to be better. Connor Williams, he's going to be bigger, stronger, and better. And then on top of that, Travis Frederick.
Getting
if
him
you
back.
get 16, if you get 10 games, 12 games with him,
Mhm.
will it be a whole lot better than what Joe Looney was able to exhibit out there?
But at least you have, and Vosh and I will argue, because Vosh has been beating me down. No, man, we got to. Listen. Okay, I believe Travis Frederick, because when I saw him at the Eagle game, he looked like he was still built like Travis Frederick. I've seen him a couple times over the year. He still looked like he was in really good shape. You're bringing back a Pro Bowl guy. I know Joe Looney is not Travis Frederick, but that guy's got experience at guard and center, okay? And he's had a year in there, and he can strengthen up some more, get rid of some of that belly, and hopefully turn it into muscle. Like you said, Connor Williams is definitely going to be better. And I think just the fact of Kellen Moore being something different than Scott Linehan. If it's only a few plays that we do different, it's still going to be the unknown factor of what is this offense going to do. I think that's going to be a benefit. As well
it's going to be.
As well as at least knowing everybody who's on the roster when we go to training camp, as opposed to a bunch of guys that were just showing up as wide receivers.
Yes, indeed. And then on top of that, like all of last year during this time, there were no Amari Cooper that Dak Prescott was able to throw to. At this point, I think Allen Hurns was not even in the picture. So, and then of course Randall Cobb
and Michael Gallup was a straight up rookie who came on as the year went on.
Right, he didn't even know he was going to be playing for the Cowboys now. And LeBird told me that they're practicing throwing the rock now. So, and I love to hear this. Finally, we got a team that we know for sure is all about their business. They roll together, they work out together, they go to football and basketball games together. Man, it's just a nice chemistry, man. I love what I'm seeing, and I'm so pumped up for this season.
Although can't get here soon enough.
Yes, it can't get here soon enough, and I like this too. Believe it or not, Mark. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones got Jason Garrett, the great old red ball coach. They got his back against the wall. They said, look, we're not going to re-sign your contract until you put something out there that we can be proud of. It's just not winning one playoff game at that.
Well, and here's the thing about Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, I don't want to say he's like a cockroach, but he is a survivor. That you can't, every time you think, we got Jason Garrett, this is going to be it. It always is. Because think about it. Remember 8-8, 8-8, 8-8? They're like, oh, no, you ain't calling plays anymore. And everybody was basically like, dead man walking. And what happens? We go 12-4, and we're the no catch away from, the championship game. And, you looked at then, of course, 2015, Tony Romo goes out, and that season is like crap. So it's like, okay, you get a pass kind of with Tony Romo, but this next year, and then Tony Romo gets hurt again, and we're like, okay, this is it. That's it. He's done. And you have the Cowboys, boom, 13-3. And then, of course, 2017, here we go. We just step back, and what happens? Boom.
Yeah.
And this past year, we were talking about replacement coaches at the middle of the year. And what happens? He survived. So his back's against the wall. This might be the year that, he gets resigned for 10 more years.
But put it like this. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm very happy. I always say this if we win the Super Bowl this year, I would still say, hey, Jerry Jones, can we just make it a consecutive every year, 1 year contract with Jason Garrett?
There you go. And see, I actually love that. That's one of the things that I love about what we've done this year with all these free agents. That they're 1 year deals, that they put it on those guys, even with DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence, basically, everybody keeps talking, he got $105 million. No, he got $65. He's got 3 years to prove that he deserves more of that kitty. And if he doesn't, you can let him go without having the Dez Bryant $16 million dead money or the Tony Romo, $21 million dead money. You can just say, okay, here, you got 65, bye. But that third year, he's going to be playing lights out because he want to keep getting that pay.
Right.
So I love the way the Cowboys are doing some business right now.
Yes, indeed. I love it, too. And then just to talk about this with Dak Prescott, the best contract that I think that the Cowboys can do, and I don't think that any other team or any other organization thought of it this way, and you see a lot of baseball contracts like this, give him, and then if you really look at it, look at the Tyron Smith contract. Those long contracts, like a 7 to 8 year contract. I know it sounds crazy, Cowboy Nation, but if you think that this is your quarterback and he showed you something out there that you can say, I'm gonna hang my hat on this particular guy, they just make it a crazy contract, make like a 6 or 7 year contract, whereas you can always operate into it. If you need to back out of it, you can still find ways to back out of it. But if you need to pull some money from it, you can still stretch out that contract and renegotiate it, however it goes. But Cowboy Nation, I might be onto something. Look at the Tyron Smith contract. Let me know how you feel about that.
Well, see, here's
Those long contracts.
Okay, and talking about that, because here's the way you look at it, and this is what I keep trying to tell Cowboy fans and all that, because I keep saying, oh, Dak's not worth $120 million, and some people say, it might be a $200 million contract. When you think about 6 years ago, okay, and I'm trying to remember when Tyron Smith got that contract. When did he get his extension?
I don't have it up right now, but I can pull it up real quick though.
But that doesn't matter. But think about
track
this.
is right here.
If we say 5 years ago, the salary cap was only $123 million. And it's 190 right now. So you're talking about, $67 million more that the cap is going. So, and we've been going basically $10 million a year roughly, even though supposedly football was dying, every year. So you're talking about 5 years from now, another $50 million on that cap. And in 2023, when they renegotiate the television contract, I can guarantee you somebody is going to be paying to stream the NFL games, which is going to be a new big kitty for the NFL that's going to really bump that salary cap up. So the longer they can get a contract with Dak Prescott, the better right now. And so people are going to lose their mind when they say, well, Dak's going to get average $30 million a year for 6 years or something like that. They will go crazy, but 2-3 years from now, $30 million contract is going to be peanuts for a quarterback.
Right. I got Tyron Smith numbers right here. Just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead.
He signed an 8-year contract for $97 million, and then on top of that, he had a $10 million signing bonus. Guess what? Guess what's guaranteed out of that money?
How much?
$22 million.
22, yeah. And the Cowboys have they've restructured it a couple times to get some money out of it because they were, of course, broke. So, yeah, which is part of the reason why it's been such a big cap hit for a while. So when did he sign that extension?
Oh wow! This was had to been done in 2014. Yeah.
Okay, when the cap was only 133 million, and that was what 97 million.
Yeah, 97 million. Then he had the $10 million signing bonus. Remember, you can always roll around that signing bonus, and it can either take away the salary, it can help you out on the salary cap, or it can hurt you, or however it goes. But that's a good contract, man.
That's a damn good well, right.
But at the time, we were like, what? God, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, but and again, and it was used, and the same thing with Zach Martin. Zach Martin's deal's got that in there where those triggers, if they really need some money, they can go through and get it. But that's what got us in trouble before. But man, I have been like way into overtime.
I know.
So tell me, what you got coming up, man? What's your plans for the draft?
I'm just planning on streaming some of the draft. I heard that Voch said he's going to do a marathon show, and I was like, wow, shout out to him. But I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna stream some of the draft, but not the 8-9 hours of it. But I was gonna plan on having call-ins, and we're gonna do like quick mini predictions and things like that, and maybe giveaways and things like that, and also see how we can grow Cowboys experience. So that everybody can get ready, so we can be all out there at Oxstar. That's gonna be the main thing. Me, you, Shango, Voch, Big Game James.
Oh
man, be at the Oxnard training facility.
Oh, but did you see what I did yesterday? My live stream. I did like a little test stream yesterday. Oh, Voch.
Oh man, I'm gonna check it out.
No, Law. Okay, I tell you what. Remember, I've been telling you about the equipment that I've been wanting to get and all that. Here's what I did last night, because I'm sitting at my desk like this, right? I had another camera set up at the bar. I got another set that was outside, so I could basically go from site to site to site and just push of a button, we get a different stream. So when we go through and we get those autograph signing and we get the media row where you're there, I can take your cell phone. You can use your cell phone and you can broadcast to me exactly what's going on. So when Tyron Smith or Travis Frederick, when none of those guys come in and you interview, bam, we can go ahead and put it right in here and put it all together. We can have a camera right there at the table with all the fans that are getting the autographs signed by the players and everything else right there. We can set up our tables so that way we've got them in the background, and we can switch from camera to location, and we're going to be putting on some real great stuff, man. So I'm excited as can be because, this is like, I can't even describe it, man. I'm just so excited about it.
Man, I can sense the laughter in your voice, man. It's gonna be nice, man. Just let me know what week you're going to be down there, so I can go ahead and start making those proper plans.
Weeks.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be quite a few games this year. It's not gonna be just one and done. We're definitely gonna have the Redskin Cowboys trip, but I'm gonna try and go to at least 2 or 3. I'm gonna plan on being in Oxnard for several days and stuff, and I'm hoping we can get one of those great big round tables going. I actually would love to get one actually there at the site during at the end of practice, having a live stream and stuff going. Right after practice, where we can really, really go through and let the fans know what we're seeing and everything else. So Barry is my buddy, and I want one of those hats.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna work something out then. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for allowing me on the show. Guys, I can't say this enough. We going to the Super Bowl this year. We going to it.
Man, but
Guys,
don't do that to me.
You go to the Super Bowl every year. You go to the Super Bowl every year. I know. But the next time you see your boy Stephen A. Smith, tell him to let Law Nation hold something, because he got 10 million. I know he got. I can say 9 of that 10 million came from the Cowboy Nation.
Well,
I guarantee you that.
If Stephen A. Smith can make that gives me hope for all of us and stuff, because that shows me that any idiot can make it out there if they work hard enough. But I ain't mad at him. He's got his whole streaming thing. I mean, but could you imagine the Dallas Cowboys at the Super Bowl? That would be for me the drop moment trip. We can only hope. But if you guys do not know who this is, Law Nation, come out from underneath the rock. You need to make sure you subscribe to him. 1980, Michael Anthony Fitness. And Voch, I thought you were going to go do some film study. You just can't leave us, can you? You just can't leave us, can you? And I see Redskin Highlight is still out there too, man. Make sure you email me so that way we can go ahead and talk. It's Redskin Highlight. Is it Ed Oliver or... Okay, but we got plenty to talk about, especially your boy Doc Walker and stuff. But everybody who's coming here, I appreciate all the love, but make sure you go through, because guys like Law Nation, Voch, DMV, E2 Blue, Cowboys, My Cowboys Family, and all these people are out. You may not like me, but one of those groups are going to have the flavor that you want, because all of us love the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to everybody who came in here. Stephanie, no, I'm not drunk. I might, with my man Law talking about Super Bowl, I might go ahead. and have a few drinks for the Cowboys and stuff. But I appreciate it so much, everybody being in here. And we will see you guys on Monday night. And remember, 2 weeks from right now, we'll be talking about our 2nd and 3rd round draft pick. I'm Mark Holmes, and I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And right now, it's time to turn off the lights.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.